Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Octane Online Racing Thermaltake Sprint Series Round 4 here at the Nürburgring GP circuit. Joining me tonight is Cam Thistlewaite. Cam, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Aiden, nice to have you back in the comms booth. Yeah, here in Split Yellow, just as we start qualifying, and everyone is just winding themselves up to start their first flyers. So naturally, we have a yellow flagged traffic jam at Sector 3. What is new on that front? But yeah, Nürburgring GP, the superior Nürburgring, quite frankly.
I agree.
And yep. It's actually raceable, and I think it's actually a really good racetrack. Quite frankly, it's pretty damn good in my opinion. I'm gonna hold it very highly. But yeah, we're here for Split Yellow round 4, just the last round before our little break here for a bit. But that said, Split Yellow and iRacing will have to be rerun next week at the same time due to we had issues at Laguna Seca a couple of weeks ago, and iRacing got iRacing, quite frankly. So expect to see iRacing and Split Yellow this time next week on the Wednesday, as per normal. But yeah, should be pretty interesting to see. But yeah, first laps out. Stan Buscovas on screen right now in the Lamborghini. But yeah, pretty good. And of course, we've got lovely Glenn on the cameras as well. Thank you very much, Glenn. Hello to everyone in chat.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you on liking this track. It's also one of my favorites. Got a really good mix of corners, all sorts of types of corners on this track. You got turn 1, which is a big braking zone, quite a tight hairpin, and then sector 1, which is also quite tight. The track then kind of flows out for sector 2 and 3. And yeah, just a really good mix of corners. It does suit all types of cars as well. It's not really a track where I think one type of car rules them all. So we'll have to see where these guys can put their cars as Jaden gets a big bounce over that final chicane. That final chicane being the bane of many people's existence. It is somewhere that lap times can definitely go to die here, especially since it's one of the final corners. You're trying to push for that lap time, and if you hit that bump wrong, you get launched in the air, just like we've seen happen to Loopty there, unfortunately. So first lap's coming in now. I'm going to be expecting, there we go, first sort of representative lap from Stan and Price Davies there. I'm expecting mid 53s possibly as the fastest, maybe higher 53s, considering the track is a little bit warmer, 25 degrees ambient out there right now. So those lap times might be a little bit off some of the fastest we'll see, but yeah, we'll see how those Lambos can get out there and do, because they've been kind of leading the charge in Split Yellow so far.
Yeah, it should be quite interesting to see how things go, and things are looking pretty nice and sunny out there. Pretty decent tire temperature range for the tires. So I think this track is also like you said, it doesn't really favor any cars in one type of car in particular. Maybe potentially you could say that about the front engine cars like we see on screen, but I think that's more so they just have that universal power advantage that applies to all circuits. But through these sections, I think the mid-engine cars like the McLaren and stuff like that are really quite supreme through these kind of medium to high speed kind of corners. And like you illustrated before, like I think this track has just an absolute amazing flow to it, out like particularly coming out of obviously the Mercedes Benz arena. It all kind of like just sweeping it forward. It's kind of just simple right to left, and it's just, it all works together very well. But in particular, you do need your suspension working very well when it comes to the chicane. I've unfortunately had a race in the past where my setup was a little bit out of date, and I think it caused my Mercedes to hop off the curbs, unfortunately, and spear me off. So it can catch you out a little bit, but who knows to say with ACC's suspension model, to be fair. But going into turn 1 now, awkward braking zone a little bit. It's kind of a downhill. It's a little bit kind of a slightly off camber to a degree. Some people have different kind of lines and approaches to it. Some like to stick all the way to the left. I like to kind of straight line it a bit more from that little gentle kink before you get into turn 1. But it is a bit of an action zone, especially when it comes to passing moves through the whole Mercedes-Benz arena, to be fair.
Yeah. Also on lap 1, turn 1 can be quite an action zone too, as it is very tight and invites some, let's say, optimistic moves down the inside. from people. We're looking at Stan Boscovas here. He's got just about 2/10 up on his delta right now. So if he was to hold that, he would inherit that pole position off Justin Griffin, who's currently in the lead. These two Lambos up the top, I believe, are teammates. So expect them to be hanging around each other. They're generally on the same pace as I do also race them in split red myself. So they're generally quite close to each other. But Stan there hasn't had the best... I'm just going to call it Dunlop because it's got another German word on the end that I guarantee you I'm going to butcher pronouncing. So we'll just call it Dunlop, which is that kind of weird 180-degree cambered hairpin, which is quite difficult. But he has clawed back a little bit of time here. However, I reckon the next lap, if he can just get that Dunlop corner correctly, he'll be on for quite an improvement. And Justin Griffin actually has gone back into the pits right now, so he will not be... I mean, if he drives out now, he's going to get one lap pretty much. So I dare say he might be done for now. But here comes Price Davies out of control into that final chicane. Invalidated it there. Yeah, that was made a bit of a dog's breakfast of that one, I'm not going to lie. But he will have one or two more attempts here of getting that lap down. Here's Ibrahim Bank as well. Quite surprisingly to me, at least, that he's in contention this season, as he was pro-am before this, so he's really picked up the ball here, and is definitely giving some of those sort of top three drivers something to think about. Young Ibrahim, so it's quite impressive to see.
Yeah, Ibrahim's been kind of really coming on form. I think the inexperience is still kind of there at times, but his or outright pace, and actually kind of been dealing with the pressure quite well at times as well. Obviously, took his first win for the first race of last week at Misano. It was a sprint race format, but Ibrahim put it on pole and held out the win as well. So, you know, it was completely on him as well. Nearly got... was just pipped to pole for the second race as well, which just showed how much you know, he was on form at Misano as well. I think the Lexuses were looking pretty damn good. That came from this driver's words as well. Jaden Rondinella, also known as Loopty, he said like the Lexus was just gelling very well at Misano. In particular, quite a four-wheel slide going into the Vorsteiner curb before this little short straight as well, but not too bad, not too ideal. He's got a car just up ahead, but he's looking even on the Delta, which is not too ideal with only a few corners left, but goes through the awkward chicane, losing a little bit of time. It was a little bit wide on the entry, might just set himself up for the next lap, but he might have wanted to add a bit of a bigger gap to that Nissan GTR just in front.
Well, Price Davies up 4/10, had a bit of a bouncy chicane there, but as long as he manages to hold it here, which he has, look like he's going to do. He's going to lose a little bit on the exit. That final corner wasn't quite perfect, but he's going to get a 54.48, which will promote him up to P5. The Lexus is looking pretty strong. I think it's just a pretty strong car at the moment anyway. On ACC, quite a lot of the Lexus drivers constantly in that sort of top 10. Rondinella not too far off the Lamborghini of Griffin, who we are looking at right now. Delta says invalid, but you never know in this game. It could be real, and I believe if he has just come out of the pits, then this could be real, so we'll keep an eye on this. He's dropped a little bit of time to that first section of Yokohama, now coming into Valvoline. This tricky sort of S-bend section here, it is really fun though once you get it hooked up. It's cambered as well very nicely. A quick fact about this track, they made it after the F1 drivers of the 70s were complaining about how dangerous the Nordschleife was, particularly Niki Lauda after his accident. So they decided to actually make a real racetrack with runoff and actual safety features rather than just a road going through the forest and some fences. So that's how this track was created. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, it was obviously kind of if Nicky's accident kind of sealed the deal a little bit on that one as well. I think it had been said for a while, and obviously Jackie Stewart was you know, kind of famously quoted it as the green hell, which has stayed its name ever since. But yeah, in 1984, this GP track was opened for the better as well. I'm a big fan of it. I actually remember a race I did in GT4s here as well, and it was just as good. You can go side by side through so many corners here with the right people on that you're racing with as well. You can have some absolute proper battles, I have to say. But I'm really enjoying it. Ryan King in his Porsche as well, been going pretty well this season. A few mix kind of luck here and there. I remember he unfortunately coasted onto the finish line at Spa many weeks ago, and he got away with that one as he literally just came to a stop on the finishing line, running out of fuel. Sadly, it'll be the last runs for everyone, running two wheels on the curb as you tend to do to widen the entry as much as you can for Coca-Cola curve. And a good run off the exit, 4/10 up, and it should be pretty good actually for Ryan King. No, look at the thing, up into P3 there, so not bad. Best of the rest behind the two Lamborghinis of Why Not Racing. Justin Griffin actually been pipped to pole by his teammate Stan Boscovas as well. And I think he is still on the valid.
Yeah, Stan just got that lap in with a couple seconds to go, so I think he just barely improved enough to pip Griffin. We'll see if Justin's got any response here. From what I've seen in Justin's driving, he should. It just depends on getting the lap hooked up, which under pressure is much easier said than done. As you can see, quite a lot of people have returned to pits and have given up. Some of these lap times, pretty much, we haven't seen too much improvement since really the start of the session. So I think a lot of people struggling in that sort of mid-session phase to really get the car hooked up. And track has seemed to come back to them a little bit towards the end as Griffin dips that left rear tire onto the sand. That's going to hurt him on the run down this back straight, coming into the very fast, difficult chicane. So you're going to be braking just after that 100 board on the right, tip the car in, get it nice and over that inside apex, hit that exit apex as well, get half on the curb there on the left hand side, bring it into this tricky long final corner to the right. And he is green on the delta, but I don't think it's going to be enough here to improve, and it isn't. So Griffin gets P2 behind Stan Boscovas on that pole position with a 54.1. Ryan King best of the rest, as you mentioned before, in P3. Haven't seen a Porsche this high in quite a while, to be honest. Not really a car you see much around on ACC these days, but good work to him for qualifying in that P3 position. Jaden Rondinella looped in P4, just behind with Ibrahim Bank in P5. Still pretty solid quality from Ibrahim, considering he is a silver at the moment. Followed by Price Davies as well. Strong qualifying from him in the Lexus as well as a Pro-Am. I have a feeling he might be seeing promotion soon with some of the times he's been putting down, followed by Billet and Vintner just behind.
Yeah, it's interesting. All three of those Lexus drivers have had really kind of like peaks and troughs through this season. There's a lot of speed in that car and the speed in there, but like everyone, to be honest, on this grid has had some kind of real ups and downs, but particularly those three Lexus drivers. Bryce Davis has always shown a lot of speed, but unfortunately kind of had a few things go wrong here and there. I think obviously kind of the classifications are also kind of based on, you know, kind of not just speed. Obviously there's a factor into things like racecraft and, you know, kind of clean racing and stuff like that. You know, there's a multitude to it. Consistency, for example. And I think Ibrahim did get promoted. I can't remember if he was silver before or after his win, but he got a win last week before. Yeah, so he has been put up to silver. So. And sorry, he was already silver before then, but might be even knocking on pro if he keeps going his way right now. He is top silver in this classification as well, as we run through the grid with all the liveries as well. So Blake Griffiths, lovely transmission livery. Wesley Yao there on the right as well. There's a few cars that had a bit of trouble around in the last week at in Misano. Aaron Campbell's blue Mustang, I remember, was one of them in particular. I think a few of these guys, like you said, are racing between both splits as well, so kind of get a little bit muddled up. But we got all the tick cars as well, the parody of the big. I think there's three of them in the split. Price Davis, the Lamborghini, and the Aston Martin at the back there as well. I can't remember, unfortunately. I think it's Eaton and Everingham potentially, or Bernard.
Yeah, I think so. Just talking format for tonight, we have a 60-minute race, and the starting time is around 3 p.m. So late afternoon race, as I said, 60 minutes, and 1 mandatory stop for fuel. So they will have to pit during this race. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because certain cars like the Lexus, although they are very fast in the qualifying, do tend to struggle a little bit over the longer race distances. So that could be something that affects them later on. However, the refueling time is also not fixed. So it is going to be up to the drivers whether they want to take tyres or not. As for those who haven't really been explained to how the fixed fuel system works. Basically, a fixed fuel race means that as soon as you try to put any fuel in the car, there's a set amount of time that will take. It's around 25 seconds. And then you can choose to take the tires, which will add another 5 seconds on top of that 25. So you end up with a 30-second stop if you decide to take tires, and a 25-second stop if you do not. That's when it's fixed. When it's not fixed, then the fuel time is just what's set by the game. So if you want to take 15 liters of fuel, it's going to take much less time than 25 seconds. It's probably going to take 10. I don't know the exact fuel rates in this game, but basically this race, the drivers are going to have to make a choice whether they decide to take whether they decide to take tires or not. And generally the faster sort of strategy in the non-fixed fuel races is not taking tires. However, for those people in the Lexuses and possibly the GTR as well, their tires really start to go off after that sort of 35-minute mark. So for them, there is obviously that additional sort of strategy thing that they have to think about.
Yeah, it's weird because they should kind of go up, but at times for some reason they are really able to hang on to it as well. I think it can come down to the driver as well. I didn't kind of mention as well, but Carl Billett got himself up into P7 there. It's a good job by him. He's had, like I said it many times, he's had a bit of mixed fortunes, but yeah, like Aiden says, we probably won't see too many people who are on the right strategy take tires, because it is going to be a mandatory 30 seconds to change tires, and the general optimum strategy with this race is to fill it up to the brim at the start and take the minimum amount of fuel at the pit stop, so you're stopped for the least amount of time as things get double file. But I'll let you have some closing thoughts just before we go green, Aiden.
Yeah, no worries. Do you have any drivers that you think will take home the win today, or are you going to put your money on?
It's looking pretty good for a Lamborghini right now, but that said, though, Lamborghinis are kind of famously suffer a lot in straight line speed, but the Lexuses are very strong, so Ludi could make a play right off the bat here.
Yeah, I'm going to put my money on Loopty. Come on, mate. I believe in you. Go get that sprint win.
Yeah, I think he knows that he wants to stay to as close as he can to the back of Justin Griffin, but we are double file. We're holding 60 kilometers out, and we're already green flag as we go underneath the BMW power board as well. And Lupti's got a great start there, but also for Ryan King. Justin Griffin not getting the start he would have liked, getting swamped on either side by Lupti and Ryan King as they all fan out going into there. We're 4 wide at the back. There's contact there, and Lupti's gone round, and Justin Griffin has gone round as well. There was contact with the Lexus and the Porsche of Griffin, of Ibrahim Bank, I believe, and Ryan King, and I think we got a safety car call. Damage to the back of the Lamborghini. Hopefully no other collisions, as we are, and the safety car collisions are on right now, but you can see the scars on the side of Justin Griffin there, as I think he and Lupti kind of phased into each other there at the start. But yeah, not too surprisingly, a safety car was called, but a pretty clean start for Buscabus, but unfortunately his teammate has fallen afoul there.
Well, I'll take the blame for that one, because I did say before turn 1 can invite some shenanigans, definitely. And then I put my money on Loopty, which is just a double whammy, unfortunately, because it looks like he has been sent to the back. There was definitely some bowling. I think I noticed a pink car in like the 3rd row, maybe 4th row, having some contact there.
I think it was, I saw, it might have been Ibrahim Bank and Ryan King getting together on the inside, and then it fanned out into the people on the outside, which unfortunately was Justin Griffin and the pink Lexus of Ludi as well. But yeah, I think that was classic turn 1 Nürburgring GP, quite frankly.
Yeah, we'll have to get a replay. Hopefully we can get one soon. But yeah, sort of classic stuff. That has put Price Davies up into P4 though, so, and Ben Vintner into P3. So Vintner, what I think was P8 or yeah, I think it was P8 or somewhere around there before we started. So he has made quite a lot of moves in that. So misfortune for some people can also be fortune for others, as we've had quite a few of those sort of top 5 being shuffled out, unfortunately, by that, as we get the replay here. So, oh, if it wants to start. So we got Loopty on the left there, looking to make a good start here, which he does. Lexus also just has insane power, so
gets kind of blocked.
Yeah, moves to the left there. We got 4 wide into turn 1, and then you're going to be looking at. Yeah, so is that Darrell Lim by chance? I think it is.
No, Darrell Lim is the pink Porsche, which I'm not sure he was in. It was Ryan King getting touched, I think, getting contact, I think, with Kyle Billett and then also Ibrahim Banks, sadly. But it looks like, we have gone back on the green flag. But Ryan King has got Ben Vintner right behind him, and Ben wants to make a move early on. He sends it to the inside, gets it stopped, but does he get it stopped enough? He goes very deep and gets completely undercutted. Nearly goes, swipes across the nose of Price Davis there, but has had a little bit of a wiggle as he gets the car into turn 2 as well. And now Price Davis back up the inside, but Vintner can hold this around the outside if he can. It is easy, it's nearly doable, but he didn't get far enough as well, and unfortunately has gone from attacking Ryan King to losing a position there to Price Davis. Justin Griffin still behind, so elected not to pit in all of that as well. Did see a few people pitted, like Ibrahim Bank, Rondinella as well. Because we did go green as well, they'll be allowed to do their pit stops as per usual as well. Usually on the safety car, you're only allowed to do damage. You're not allowed to clear your mandatory stop, so at least that will be some respite for them. They'll get their mandatory stop out the way, and they'll be in clear air as well. But as you can see, there's like 5 cars coming out of the pit lane, 6 cars potentially. Andy Bishop there getting a little bit squirrely in the Tyrrell livery McLaren as they all sweep through the Michael Schumacher S at present. But pretty good start for Vintner. Overall got himself up into P3, but unfortunately has dropped down to P4 as well. And big concern for the amount of damage that Justin Griffin must have. There's a lot of exterior scars, but maybe he feels like it is doable. You can get a lot of damage, but if it's drivable, it's not too bad. We're already getting a 15-second penalty for car 83, causing a collision. That is from the stewards as well. Not too sure. I can't remember who that is at Everingham. Yep, so Tyler Everington there, unfortunately, copping a penalty. I'm not sure if that was the main incident at the start, but I don't think he was in that top 10 pack, so that might be for another incident that we have not seen. But Buscobus leading the way and kind of opening up a gap already on Ryan King as well, 1.5 seconds. It's looking pretty good for Stan, I have to say. But 55 minutes ago, we were only 5 minutes in, Aiden.
Yeah, look, honestly, I reckon it could have been worse for Griffin. He has dropped a few spots on track, but in terms of actual position, he's only really, 3 seconds off the lead. And someone of his caliber, as you can see, already closing up to Ben Vintner and Price Davies here, might be able to make the climb back. Passing the Lexus and the BMW in a Lamborghini is going to be a bit of a challenge. But if he can try to force some errors from these guys, I actually think it's fairly possible that he manages to reclaim that spot as he gets a good run through that S section. Is right on the back of the BMW. However, a Lamborghini with damage is probably likened to the speed of a snail down the straight. So we'll have to see really how lacking this Lambo is.
Yeah, that damage hopefully not too bad because it doesn't have any aero deficiency, but Vintner did not have a good run going into the Schumacher S, so it's going to be falling afoul a little bit, but the BMW power is enough to keep him just ahead, and he covers off Justin Griffin as well. You can see Vintner was maybe getting held up a little bit by Price Davis in the first half of the lap, but right now is just trying to settle himself in. You can see Justin Griffin still got a lot of pace, so thankfully no aero imbalance on his part. Suspension damage takes quite a bit to achieve in in ACC, unlike LMU and iRacing as well. It is you know, the cars are built tough to say the least, and not a good run on the exit through of the chicane there for Vintner either. But I think that BMW with its horsepower is going to be very tough to get a move done. Particularly the BMW tends to, you know, kind of fly out the corners. In particular, Ibrahim Bank, 15-second penalty for causing a collision. And we got a car triple free yellowed into the last corner as well. Yeah,
I think a chicane death.
Chicane death. Yeah, that's not too surprising. Very easy to do, but yeah, 15 seconds there for Ibrahim Bank. That might be obviously indicative of where the stewards feel like the penalty, the blame was to be for that turn one incident. I wouldn't be too surprised. It was pretty much very much a you know, a pool snooker effect in turn one, as we've seen many times before.
Yeah, especially like because it tightens up so much. You see people coming in your radar, and then you're not looking in front of you, you're looking at the radar, and then next thing you know, with ACC physics, you're just ping-ponging. So, it's just how sometimes things go. But Griffin, right here, in the identical livery, just in red as Buskovers. They're pretty cool liveries, honestly. I reckon. Didn't you do them? I'm pretty sure you did these.
I did not pay him. Chat. Right. I didn't pay him. What else do you think of the liveries?
No, I think they're pretty. Yeah, it's got a few marks on it.
I didn't do those.
I don't think it came like that.
Oh, that's not good from Vincent. Oh, it's a bad run.
He's alongside, but we'll see if the BMW can pull away. The Lambo, the Lambo will have the inside for this little right-hand kink, but I actually think that the BMW's almost fully in front by the time they get down to the chicane. Griffin's going to try hang it around the outside. Tries to get the undercut on the exit, but just not enough. So, yeah, as I suspected, Lambo's going to really struggle. Yeah,
we've lost Carl Billett. 251 on, it might be another chicane def.
Yeah.
Yep. I was going to say.
We can get the replay for that, because I thought the GTR was pretty stable over that sort of...
And he was right behind these two as well in the last few corners. I think he was kind of catching Griffin, because these guys are all fighting. And yeah, unfortunately, Carl Billett is on holding a great result. I think what would that have been, P6 for him? But unfortunately, it is not to be for Kyle. He's in the pits as well, so hopefully he can just you know, get some runs in clean air. But yeah, that's got to be pretty painful to say the least. But yeah, Vintner looked like just a bit of a bad run going through the Valvoline and Ford curves, and just gave Griffin a little bit of a chance. But I kind of instantly saw Griffin go when he went side by side. He was going to be on the outside for the infamous you know, chicane as well, and that was I don't think that has ever worked out, no matter whether you're in front or behind.
Yeah, no, it's definitely true. And you have to be fully. Whoa. Okay, so that looks like a failure of some kind. That's not the ideal line.
Power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, looking like a wheel failure, another hardware failure. Sadly, you know, it's not Tim Go. Hooray! It's not Tim Go for once. But unfortunately for Kyle Billett, it does get affected. He had I was watching in the bottom right. He still had input over the pedals and obviously slammed on the brakes when he realized he couldn't turn. But yeah, got a feel for Kyle in this, and he did a pretty good job to be where he was at. But unfortunately, you know, sometimes that's just how it goes for him.
Yeah. Now, with this Griffin-Vintner battle, I didn't mean to jinx Griffin when I said I feel like he can get through, because I do feel like genuinely that he has better pace than both the cars in front of him. But I mean, everyone that's ever driven these sort of games will know what it's like to be stuck behind someone who you're faster than but just cannot get the move done, because you know, being faster than someone is not doesn't automatically mean you can overtake them. A lot of the time sticking to the racing line, and when they have a fairly quick car on the straights, it is quite difficult to get past. Obviously, Griffin taking along a little bit of damage with him, but Vintner is making quite a few mistakes, very wide on some corners. So I feel like, yep, there he goes. Griffin's gone for it. He's got a much better run coming into Dunlop. Will he keep the overlap? He has, although hanging it around the outside here is pretty much impossible again. He's just going to stay right, try to stay right glued to that rear bumper of the BMW, but just can't stay there. Just asking a little bit too much from that Lambo, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was going to say, Benton's been around for a bit as well. He knows how to defend, but he is making a few errors here and there, making it a little bit easier for Griffin. But it's one thing to get a little bit alongside to get the move done, and especially going into the Dunlop curve or the cambered hairpin, like you say, it's tricky as well going on the outside, and especially if you're on the inside. It's actually advantageous to go a little bit wider at that hairpin, because then you can kind of properly veer off to get a good exit, which you saw Justin Griffin didn't unfortunately manage to do, as well as John Rad finds himself up into P6, unfortunately, after the error by Kyle Billett. Not error, hardware on bad luck for Kyle Billett. And Andy Bishop and Blake Griffiths as well, right up there as well. Wesley Yao at the background as well, and Blake doing a pretty good job right now. A flurry of Porsches going from P8 down, but Andy Bishop was looking pretty good at the back of John Rad, and now is a little bit under attack from Blake Griffiths. Goes a little bit goes defensive at turn 1 just to cover that off, and I think, Blake, I think you took a little bit too much curb there, and that's a little bit, it's not the line, but got away with that one, to say the least, doing a decent job as well. I think there's a lot of positions up for grabs right now with all the drama that we had early in the race, so there might be a few people who might be able to get a position, a bit of a better position that they're used to say the least.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I'm really interested to see is where Loopty and some of the people who pitted real early on will come out towards the end, because although they had quite the gap before, I'm looking for car 888. There he is. So they are quite far back. So he is just behind Ibrahim. But now they have this clean track in front of them with no cars. They, in theory, should be able to make up quite a lot of time just by having the clean air in front of them, assuming they're not carrying lots of damage. And Gobby in the chat, we were racing today. I don't know if he means that, like, he forgot that he was supposed to be racing today. But there's always split red tomorrow, so, I mean, it's not like he's missed out on too much. He can always race tomorrow.
Yes, we have to address that elephant in the room as well, featuring that man in chat. Now that he's won a race, asterisks, asterisks, I'm gonna say on that one as well, but has conveniently forgot. He's the big leagues have called and he's answered, and now he's gonna pretend that he forgot. He's done with us. OOR is in the past for him. He's just going to be onto bigger and brighter things as Tim Gobe. But I'm not saying. I reckon someone gifted. I reckon someone gifted Tim the win. I'm not saying any names, but Justin Griffin in the pits. Luckily for Aiden Squires to get segued away from. I think no damage.
The more important thing is that he should now be promoted to pro because he's won a race.
Yes, I want to throw you under the bus, but we should maybe give you a medal as well, as Tim Gobe can never claim to be silver ever again now. Yeah,
exactly. That was my plan all along. It was all to get Gobby promoted. But anyway, Griffin has done his pit stop. I do believe that was probably the right call, considering there was a large BMW-sized roadblock in front of him over the last few laps that he's going to be that he was trying to get past but just couldn't do it. So the pit stop should hopefully put him in a little bit better or cleaner room, which I can see him on the track. He does have a bit of clear track in front of him. But yeah, looking at Blake Griffiths here with Wesley Yao close behind for comfort, and then 7 seconds back to Darryl Lim. So these guys have really gapped the next car on the track, so that's pretty well done to them. They have Andy Bishop just in front as well in that McLaren. We'll see what these Porsches can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of yo-yoing a bit back and forth with the one mistake here and there. It's kind of just like ebbing and flowing a little bit. And Bryce Davis that is off ahead. Another chicane death, and is potentially going to get passed by everyone, including Blake Griffin's going to sweep it around the outside. Blake does, and is still even keel, but now he's going to have to out drag Alexis in a straight line. Good luck to old Blake on that one, as well as going to be on the outside for turn 1, but maybe going to break it late, break it super late, hold it around the outside, have the inside for next one. She's just got a bit of overlap, but unfortunately gets muscled out a bit, and kind of unfortunately was falling back. Oh, big four-wheel slide though, and that might just open the door for Blake to come through again, as Price Davis struggling to keep it under control. Here comes Wesley now as well, wants to capitalize and goes wider still at the next corner. Going to be on the inside for this corner as well, so I don't know it's going to work out for Wesley, but he's actually got a half decent run along the outside. Still a little bit of overlap, might get shoved out a little bit, and will keep his nose going into the next curve. And as he goes side by side through these corners, this is what I was talking about, through Valvoline and Ford curve as well, but the Lexus comes out supreme on the exit of Ford, and surely that will be spelled the end of it right now. But surely Wesley will have another crack, but see if Price Davis can compose himself, because he's had a few mistakes, to say the least, after that off at the older NGK chicane as well. A big moment for him.
Here's a replay of what happened. So he's coming through. Oh, so possibly another person involved with this. That's Ryan King. Is he gonna?
That's
the stewards might have something to say about that one. Maybe
tricky.
But yeah, a little
2 into 1.
Point of view. Yeah, I mean that chicane again. It's pretty difficult to run side by side through, but it looked like the Lexus was quite almost fully in front. But yeah, the chicane claims yet another victim. I think we've had, what, 4 now this race? So the number keeps going up. And unfortunately for Price Davies, that has kind of undone all his hard work. He does dive into the pits now. And sometimes when something like that happens, it really throws off your rhythm. So coming into the pits, resetting is probably a good idea for him here.
Yeah, it's tricky to say. I'll be interested to see where he comes out relative to some of the others. That said, though, we didn't kind of highlight on it, but Justin Griffin obviously pitted quite early on. He is considerably further ahead than the rest of those guys that had to box for the damage. I get the feeling all the repair damage they had to do kind of extended their pit stop, so which Justin didn't do, because he was up on the jacks, and then a half a second later he was back down on the jacks, so he elected not to fix his damage on that one, understandably so. But you can see where he is relative to the track map. The guys who, the Lexuses of Ibrahim Bank, they're on the start straight right now. So, they're a good 10, 15 seconds behind. Yeah. So, wow. Considerable amount.
Yeah, I guess looped and stuff. I think they got hit a couple times once they had been spun, whereas maybe Griffin didn't quite have the same amount of contact. But
yeah. I reckon he's still quite damaged. He's coping quite well. As I said, as long as you don't have steering damage or an error imbalance like your proper damage on the rear, because I was a bit worried about, because it seems predominantly on that rear right, but he seems to have gone away with it. That said, though, Justin, he's got a lot of cars ahead of him now for position, which is gonna slow his progress for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on when this is the main reason why, when you said earlier, the main strategy here would be go long, is because you don't have to deal with all this traffic. So you can technically pit halfway or pit early, and in theory it is just as fast, but in practice, because of all the cars on the track, it generally worked out that obviously overtaking all of them slows you down considerably. So that's why most of the faster people will probably try pit as late as possible, so they don't have to deal with any of that traffic. Buscovers as well, still in the lead, driving a pretty clean race so far. He's just taken off on the start, had a pretty good restart, I think, and has just pulled that gap out to 5 seconds from Ryan King. J-Rad as well, moved up quite a few positions, so is Griffiths, but technically these guys, I mean, again, depends on how many cars Griffin and Price Davies particularly have to overtake, but these guys have come up quite a few positions. I don't know if their position right now is entirely representative of where they'll finish, but only time will tell, so, yep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who come in the end as well. Did you see Andy Bishop from P7 boxed as well? He's no longer P7. The obviously needs to cross the first sector line before that updates, but he's behind Justin Griffin as well, not too surprising, only by a corner or so. But yeah, he will probably run into the next problem like Justin is of catching cars for position and can't just get around them as quickly. But yeah, surprised to see a few of these guys box early, but maybe Andy was on the same Fort train because I imagine Justin boxed mainly just to get past the BMW of Inter in front. He had clear pace.
Yeah.
But the problem is that clear air quickly evaporated. Now he's caught the rest of the field, and they may not box until the last 5 minutes as well.
Exactly. Yeah, precisely. That's what I was kind of alluding to before. In saying that, Justin should be able to get through some of these cars fairly quick, and some of these people towards the back also might just let him go. They know he's not really their fight. So yeah, we'll see who plays nice and who decides to give him a little bit of a fight here. First up on the chopping block is Jonah in the Ford. So we'll see whether he can get past her. Don't think he's going to be overtaking the Ford on the straight unless she lets him by, which don't think is going to happen. So, yep. We'll see what Justin can do here. I think he should be able to overtake them on pace fairly quickly, but in saying that, oh, that is a spin, a car around. I don't know who that was. Number something 14 or 24.
I think 34. That might be Nathan Daniel. Yes, it is, unfortunately.
So a bit of shenanigans at turn 1 yet again.
Made it easy for Justin Griffin at the least, because Shona kind of slowed up and he got past him, but now he's got another Lamborghini to deal with.
Yep.
You can see the speed difference between the two.
This is the other problem with coming through the field. There is quite a large pace difference, and you do not want to pick up a penalty along the way. So it is a pretty tough balancing act between getting past the traffic quick. Oh, as we jump back to pits for a second, between overtaking these cars around you and also not getting a penalty while doing so. In saying that, we haven't had too many penalties this race, and I don't think the King and Price Davies thing has been penalised yet. So maybe there's nothing.
I think that might have been what Banks' penalty was for. And I think that's Bernard going to steam up the inside of Nathan Daniel. Nathan sees him coming, gives him space, but just gets clipped. And unfortunately, that's a horrible place to be. Yes. Thankfully, he's got a gap though.
Yeah.
So I think you just mentioned penalties, but I get the feeling there might be another one coming.
Yeah, potentially.
Wesley.
Oh, Wesley. Jeez, that is not what you want to be doing to your fellow
It's
Porsche.
McLaren brakes.
Yeah, I bet Blake may have got a little bit of a heart attack there, looking in the rear view mirror, seeing another Porsche come flying towards her into turn 1. It is quite unnerving, that braking zone, to be honest, sometimes when there's people behind you, especially because you get a big slipstream all the way down the straight, and then sometimes you hit the brakes, and if you miss your marker, it's very easy to go straight into the back of someone.
It is, yeah. It's one of the more unique braking zones, like across all tracks, because the track falls away. There's a slight curve going into it as well, and it's quite a short braking zone. It is, it's slightly downhill, but I feel like it's still quite a short braking zone. Because I guess it's not the longest straights. It's a decent enough straight, but it's not too top end. I think probably most people are just getting into like the 6th gear before getting in there. And as you can see, Justin Griffin has managed to displace Bernard as well. I think he's got he's got a little bit of a gap now before he catches the next car. He's got a few seconds up the road to Aaron Campbell. And Aaron is not too slow either, and I'm seeing more yellows up ahead, but I think that was an isolated car, potentially Ben Simpson as well. Actually, this car was on the back row, like couple back rows of the grid. He's done an exceptional job to get himself into 11th.
I believe the yellow flag was Nate James.
Oh no, 75. I don't see there might be a lap down car in the midst, because I don't see them in the top 15.
Possibly. But yeah, Ben Simpson driving pretty well right now in that Lexus. Don't drive on the grass, Ben. I know I just said you were driving well, but that's not an invitation to dip the wheel on the grass there, because that can end quite badly.
These are going to be a lot harder for Justin Griffin to get past. Like, these are guys who are doing racing pretty well right now, and then especially being in the Lexus for sure, but the Mustang behind them as well. Aaron Campbell, it's not going to be easy for him, and these guys are obviously kind of up here. They're making less mistakes. They're a lot more on the pace. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think that car is up ahead. I think it's that orange McLaren that was spun that we saw yellowed. And yeah, I should see that's one. But 33 minutes to go. We'll see when Justin catches these guys. But yeah, you'll be praying that these guys will like to come in a little bit earlier than planned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit disappointed for Jaden down in 19th, because I thought he would have made up quite a lot more time than this. So he obviously had to repair a lot of damage in that pit stop, because he just hasn't brought back that time. Because obviously you will make up some time lapping in clean air, but obviously if you've had to repair 25 seconds of damage or something like that, you're just never going to be able to offset that amount of time lost in the pits. So that is quite unfortunate for Rondinello, who had a good qualifying and also a good start to the race. Maybe a bit of a lesson there, just don't try to go around the outside. I've had that happen to me quite a few times, trying to hang it around the outside, and then something happens and you're always the one that gets the short end of the stick or going around the outside. So there's always next race. I'm sure he'll bounce back.
Yeah, that was tricky as well, because I actually really like going around the outside, especially at race starts on the corners like that, which are such a high radius angle car. And Chris Bernard gets a penalty. I think that was what we were watching at the time for that contact on Nathan Daniels kind of coming on through. But yeah, I think especially at the start, because all the cars are kind of concertinaed on the inside, but unfortunately, like we saw, all the cars are concertinaed, which unfortunately led to a snooker situation with all the cars getting punted through, and then unfortunately outside. To be fair, the inside suffered as much as the outside, so I don't think anyone it was just a wrong place, wrong time in that particular situation. But especially here at this track, if you're brave enough on the brakes and you don't go way too wide, because you can go around the outside, but if you leave so much space that you could fit a kebab shop in the middle, then it's no good. Yeah, analogies 101 from me, by the way.
Because you can hold the inside into the next left-hander there.
Exactly,
pretty well. So yeah. Also, I'd be interested to see how these Lexus guys' tires are starting to feel, especially someone like Bryce Davies, who's had a few offs, had quite a lot of sliding, I've noticed, in his driving. So by the end of the race, he might be one that is suffering quite a lot. J Rad up in P4 as well. I'll be interested to see where his kind of pace is towards the end of the race, because naturally most of the time you drop off unless you're driving something like the Ferrari, which is just a bit of a meme with its tyre wear. And yeah, I mean, there are quite a lot of Porsches as well in here, which also I think is pretty good on tyres, as Wesley gets very close to the back of Blake again. Now, I don't think these guys technically are teammates. I think they've raced before, but I don't think they are in a team. No? Am I correct in saying that? Do you know?
I'm not too sure. I know everyone's kind of got their own kind of groups, but I wouldn't know for sure. Another ping back as well. I think Blake is still going. It's just unfortunately sometimes there's a momentary loss of connection. Yeah, but yeah, it looks like Blake's kind of struggling a bit more on tires.
Definitely.
And I have to say, yeah, once you don't have the rears in particular underneath you on the Porsches, it's a very hard car to drive, and quite a shallow line going into this one. I'm sure Wesley will probably want to get past, but same machinery is not going to make things too easy. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to say we may be asking about teammates because not too dissimilar liveries.
Liveries, yeah, I was going to say.
But similar kind of colours and themes, and Blake's having a few momentary losses of connection. I'm sure won't be helping Wesley, and a very big slide on the exit as well, going through Valvoline, and Wesley will be right there, but I'm sure it won't be too easy for him with these momentary disappearing moments for Blake, but she is doing well at present. Going into not Coca-Cola, NGK, everything's a brand, and Wesley, that's very wide.
There, my friend.
yeah, not too bad. It's probably better to do that than actually try to make it hit the curb
and launch off the curb to the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. But that'll give Blake a little bit of respite. But I'm a bit worried about these guys' tire wear, because I think Blake is struggling a bit.
Yes, definitely. Considering we're just over halfway right now. So quite a long way to go on this one, to the end. So we'll see how those Porsche people are. I mean, although if everyone around you is suffering equally, then I guess it's not too bad, is it?
Yeah. I think as well, like, there are cars that are obviously harder on the tires and some are a bit easier, but it ultimately comes down to your balance of the car, like what kind of balance you have in the car. If you got a very understeery car, naturally you're gonna use a lot more of those fronts just trying to get the car across. So, and also just like the balance of your car, and also like how kind of harmonious you are with the car as well. Like, if you're gonna be
one with the machine,
exactly, as Justin Griffin got a good run on the exit of that one, but I think Aaron Kell is going to have just enough going into this corner as well. But Justin already having to get through these guys, but yeah, it's ultimately how you drive it kind of dictates your tire wear. And I'm particularly someone, as soon as I feel like I don't have the grip underneath me, I kind of fall apart. So everyone kind of drives in different ways for sure. But yeah, Porsche is particularly sensitive. You need all the mechanical grip you can in that car.
Now, I think I just heard this, but I think you just called Aaron Campbell Aaron Cameron, which I do not.
Did I?
I don't blame you for, because Aaron Cameron is also
Aaron Cameron. Who's Aaron Cameron?
He's a supercars driver.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then I was like, I'm thinking of Aaron's, and I'm thinking of Aaron Noonan from V8 Sleuth now as well, and it's all too many Aarons.
Aaron Campbell is very close to Aaron Cameron, so it's not too bad. I do apologize. That is, but anyway, he is holding up Griffin, and just in front is Ben Simpson, which I think they've caught as well. So now Griffin has the two real power car. Oh no, never mind. I rescind my statement because Campbell's just come back into the pits, but he still has the fastest car on the straights right in front of him. See if Simpson lets him through. I highly doubt he will. I reckon he's going to try to keep his place. And just ahead, that's John Stockton and Nate James. Nate James actually, I think, just getting the move done. Just out of shot there.
Yeah, shout out to Nate James. He's been improving his pace quite a bit, as well as very wide there for Ben Simpson. And I think Justin's going to be like, lick the stamp and send it. That was a pretty good move on as well. Just Simpson just going a little bit wide through the second corner there, and kind of I think he saw that Justin was going to send it as well, and understandably kind of capitalize on that little error. But it looked like Nate James just got past Aaron Stockton now. Oh, you got Aaron's everywhere. John Stockton, I should say.
Not even the same first initial there.
No. Just Aaron's on the brain right now. But Nate getting it past, and Nate's kind of improved a lot as he's pivoted to the McLaren as well. He's been running an Aston Martin for quite a few seasons, and gone to the McLaren.
Good man.
It's nice that McLaren's getting some love, because I drove it once, and I think it was just after it was kind of on the downturn from its all dominating bop that it used to have. The days where McLarens were just everywhere, quite frankly. It was the car. But a half decent car. lovely to
it.
drive when it works.
It is. Yeah, it's good for 15 minutes, and then your rears explode.
I never liked the brakes though. The brakes is the worst part about the McLaren.
Yeah, the brakes are made of wood, but everything else is fine. So yeah, it's a fun car to drive. But anyway, we got Darrell Lim here with his, let's say, uniquely coloured Porsche. I don't really know what the inspiration for that livery was, but definitely a livery of all time, let's say.
I could say something, but I probably shouldn't.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. Yeah.
I'm gonna say it anyway, but always remember to get checked, gentlemen. Prostate cancers can be pretty rough.
Yep. I've just seen the back of it, and it says feet cam wear. Okay, so Darrell.
I'm gonna go on a hunch and say this is a meme livery.
Potentially, yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there. So also, while I just remembered, we have quite far past the halfway mark, so it does look like, yeah, it does look like most people are gonna go and pit within that last sort of 15-minute bracket, which is where we did expect them to do so before. So keep an eye on who's pitting and when, because it is quite important, especially with people like Griffin coming through the field now. I don't know how long a pit stop is here with transit time. I assume somewhere within the realm of 50 seconds, possibly, maybe.
Oh no, way shorter.
Not sure.
Oh, well, considering, well, if depends on obviously how long you stop for. If it was a 30-second stop, yeah, probably about 50 seconds. But
yeah,
I think we're looking at probably a 20-25 second transit if you were to do the like.
Oh yeah,
minimum
true, because they're not
fuel.
Yeah, they're not taking tires. So.
And you kind of, you kind of cut out the last corner slightly as well. So it's not one of those pit lanes where it's like, it's kind of longer distance. You kind of do cut out a little bit of the track.
Speaking of pitting, Wesley Yao and John Stockton have just jumped in for their pit stops. So you'll probably start to see quite a few people doing their pit stops in the next 10 minutes or so, I reckon. Ben Oliver trying to hunt down Darrell Lim here. Ben Oliver, haven't seen too much of him this season, I don't think, but giving it a crack, trying to get behind Wesley. He is currently second in terms of the pro-ams out on track. Nate James, the next one, about 13 seconds behind, so he's doing pretty well for himself. J-Rad as well in the Lexus, up in P4. I don't know if he'll stay there after the pit cycle is completed, but yeah, that Lexus definitely seems to be fairly good here, especially for just like all-round pace. It seems to be quite a good car.
Yeah, and he's actually not too far off the King and Vincent as well. I think he's only 5 seconds off the back of Vincent, so these three have been kind of keeping even pace. I think Stan's checked out a bit. There's you can see on the start straight the triangle going through the first corner, and 64, which is Ryan King, just crossing the line. So there's about 8 seconds, as you can see in the timing tower. Not completely checked out, but got margin, to say the least. Looking pretty good. And yeah, I think we're seeing a few more people pit stops as well. Obviously the optimum strategy is to just go as long as you can, because you only need a few liters subsequently, but if you leave it till later, you avoid coming out in traffic, and also you benefit from the car being low on fuel as well. So it's kind of the optimum way in most cases, but a lot of drivers will feel like then maybe it's just like, I don't feel too comfortable about that. I kind of want to bring the stop forward a little bit, and maybe even change tires just to keep the car on track.
Yeah, because if you do pit like halfway through or earlier, you actually heat cycle the tires, so they cool down in the pit stop and then they warm back out once you get out there, and some cars really do not like that. And then you can get graining or blistering on your tires. Darrell Lim, that is not the optimal line through there, my son. We've had another chicane death, I see. Actually, that Looks like
404.
yeah,
I
possibly. I'm not sure exactly who 404 is, but oh, I think it's Xavier. Yeah, well, he's got some damage on the back of that Lambo as well, so probably not had the best chicane runs there. But anyway, going back to Daryl with his incredible livery.
I just saw his team name.
Yeah, yeah. Is that like I'm guessing he's like the paint bucket like in whatever software?
Yeah, he just clicked
Photoshop
fill on everything.
Yeah, Phil. Yeah.
Yeah, just used a brush instead of a instead of a pencil, if any. But yes, pretty clear on that one. I think he is friends with Nathan, not Nathan, Nathan Daniel. Sorry, based on some of the things on the back of the car as well. But not to. I'm scared to say anything about Daryl alone because he generally doesn't have the cleanest of races due to anything so low, but he's doing well right now in
He
P6.
hasn't got a penalty, so yeah.
Wow.
Well, he is a steward, so he should know what's best. But we are getting a replay here of
was Xavier murdered?
Well, that looks like Everingham just behind.
That is. Oh, they both kind of messed up, and then Xavier kind of just stopped.
Yeah.
Ben Simpson coming through as well, and both of them did not do the chicane very well, to say the least.
Breno, no thanks. I'm gonna deny.
Is this not enough at this point? Like, how much have we shown?
Yeah, exactly. Griffin now, wait, let me add this up. So 11, 17, 19, 27. So yeah, he's about 28 or maybe a little bit more seconds behind Stan in the lead. So it actually might be pretty close for him in the top 3 once he gets out of the pits, because it seems like he's been driving pretty quick.
Yeah, I am still concerned of how much time he did lose, because he was catching.
That's a good one.
Catching some guys so quickly. As soon as he got past one, he was already pretty much on the gearbox of the next car. So like, he's had a lot of pace, but I think a lot of it has been stifled. And to be fair, the leaders kind of had clean air this whole time. So I think Griffin may. It'd be interesting because he obviously boxed to get, because he was stuck behind Vintner, but I'm not sure it's ultimately going to work out. There we go. Thank you very much, Glenn. I mean, like, thankfully, it's Glenn doing it, so he can't blame anyone else but himself right now. So thank you. Very good. And yes, like Hamster says, the ISS can see that. Yeah, it's
you see this big pink thing just moving around.
What?
Yeah, I know what the what the money thing means, but like, yeah, fill us in the chat, please.
Can we move on from this guy?
Yeah,
it could go. Can we? You just freak out and just watch the pits at this point, just to get away from Daryl Lynn's car. I mean, we kind of highlighted a little bit on but Benel has done a little bit of a good job, just kind of being understated and going through the field as Shona gets one of her pit stops done as well. And yes, should have brought up Ben Oliver now because you can still see Daryl Lynn in the shot. But yeah, going well at present. I'm trying to just look up and down the field. So yeah, we've got Nate James still yet to do a stop. Griffin is already up ahead. He's got 10 seconds between these guys fighting, and Griffin is 10 seconds behind, as you can see on the timing tower. So Griffin's now got some more clean air, and he needs to kind of pump in some pit stop, pump in some good laps just to undo some of the ones where he was stuck behind other cars. But only a few more pit stops left to do. I wonder who of our top 5 is going to crack first, or top 4, I should say.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
Stan
right.
could
Is
get
right. Is that
now.
what it means? His laugh sounds like Jimmy Carr. So that's what Daryl Lim's laugh. That's it.
I don't see it, to be honest. I mean, I've heard it, but like, I didn't think it sounded like Jimmy Carr, to be honest. But that's just me.
Please don't. No, please. I do not sound like Jimmy Carr. Take that back. I know what his laugh like. I can't even do Jimmy Carr's laugh.
Yeah. I think Blaskovas could pit right now, and he wouldn't really be in any traffic. So,
yeah.
unless it's filled all the way, you don't want to put in 1 liter in the pit stop. You want to put in at least like 3 or 4,
yeah,
just so the game doesn't bug out. Because we have had people in the lead pit and only put in 1 liter, and the game has
lawless game.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, this game has been out for quite a while. Unfortunately, still has some lingering issues, but that's okay. We will still love ACC forever. Blake is Blake is.
Where does this come from?
Yeah, John his tires must really have fallen off a cliff, or he's had a little.
He's got the same gap to Vintner though.
Well, I don't see any damage on his
Blake's just got a second, the second flurry coming through right now.
Yeah,
hope it doesn't go wrong from here.
Yeah, well, now you've just jinxed it, haven't you? So, if anything goes wrong, blame Cam.
Add it to the list.
Yeah. We are experts at cursing people, so let's see if that trend continues on board with that Porsche. Heading down into turn 1, braking just before the 100 board. And you see how, oh my gosh, John, that is...
I've seen quite a few people do that. It's
getting airtime at turn 1. I don't think that is quite the ideal line, slamming it down like that. On board with the Porsche here, just see how nicely this car rotates through this section. It's quite nice to drive this car. As I say that, a little bit slippery.
Something was going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see though, because I think the Lexus also is quite difficult to drive in the same sort of sense that it does let go of the rear quite a lot. So we'll see if John Rad has any of those issues. Obviously the Porsche is not getting past the Lexus down the straight unless something majorly goes wrong. So the Porsche will have to try do most of the work in this infield section, which it looks like Blake is. Just gonna try to get the power down. Maybe look for a move into one of the braking zones in this sort of tighter, twistier section.
I think where the Schumacher S is where the tyres are really starting to show a bit of an issue for the cars like the Lexus that are predominantly power dominant. You use quite a lot of lateral loading going through Schumacher S, and especially the Lexus, kind of the brick cars not got the best kind of downforce, to say the least. But yeah, Blake seems to have settled into a nice room right now, and completely left obviously Wesley Yao pitted quite a while ago, as these two are still going as well. Things looking pretty quick as Blake comes into the pits, so that's probably not too bad timing, all things considered. And hopefully, where is the line? I hope that's the line, Blake, and that wasn't the one that you just passed earlier. But I think she's a-okay on that one. Well, interested to see where she comes out relative to Griffin. She'll be behind Griffin, but I want to know by how much, and I think that'll give us an indication where Griffin is going to come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Griffin's already gone past the pit lane.
Yeah, this is going to be more of a battle between Blake and Bryce Davies, I think, once she gets out, because here he is coming down the mental straight. Yeah. Yeah, there she's right on the exit of the pit. Bryce Davies obviously has a bit more pace as Nate James kind of pulls over the side and let Bryce Davies pass, actually.
It's a different McLaren. Yeah, it was a blue flag.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Flashing.
Yeah, it was Beaton, I think, benefit the McLaren. But yeah, Bryce Davies obviously was quite high up before, so see what he can do against the Porsche of Griffiths. I believe they also had a battle earlier. A bit earlier before where Blake was trying to go around the outside but couldn't quite get the move done, so They're back for round 2 and role reversal. The Porsche is now in front, Lex is behind. And yeah, so we just have those sort of top 8 cars with the exclusion of Griffin that has to pit now. So last 8 minutes, I assume it's going to be in the next 4 laps or so.
Yeah. Yep, so yeah, Jaden, I was going to say, Jaden came out, he was obviously from the first couple of stops, so he came out right behind Ibrahim, and Ibrahim's going to have a 15-second penalty anyway, so looks like he's finally got past him and probably got unleashed, but it may be a bit too little too late, but I think a top 10's on the might be on the cards. That said, that everyone who's yet to stop, I think, is also in the contention. I think Nate James will probably fall out, sadly, because everyone's kind of sort of, you know, vying for those between 5 and 10, to say the least. I think obviously the top 4 at least are kind of set somewhat in stone to a degree. Just in the order might be shuffled where Griffin comes out as Luke
jumping.
Absolutely clobbering the chicanes, but got away with it. Sometimes it can work, and that can be the quick line, but sometimes, and not always, the case. I have to say, I've been quite impressed with Brian King's pace. He's been doing a really good job and keeping up with Stan Buscovas. I think Stan probably is carrying. He's got more. Definitely got more success ballast. He obviously won last weekend, one of the sprint rounds, so it was only 3 kilos. But obviously, he's been kind of a bit more in the top running than Ryan King over this season. So he's probably got a few more kilos on his Lamborghini, which kind of also might be it's a pretty good job by him in quali as well, because he would have carried that weight for quali. That said, Justin Griffin probably also had quite a bit of weight as well. Yeah,
I know what that's like. It definitely affects your race pace, that's for sure.
Also
seeing tire wear.
And tire wear, yeah, exactly, because it's just more load on the tires, and it's just nothing gets better with weight, that's for sure.
Yeah, the next race I do, I think I'll have like 15 or something, so that's gonna be really fun.
Well, to be fair, I'm not sure it's still the case, but the McLaren usually got a lot of weight by Elephant Bop anyway, quite frankly. So, you know, sometimes you max out, and it's not too much of a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, once it gets to the end of the season, we'll see, because it will probably be closer to plus 40, which will be really a bit of a pain. But anyway, that's racing. That's how it is. Ben Oliver still kind of stuck behind Darryl Lim. And Justin Griffin has just gone over the start line, so he is about 5 seconds behind this group, or 6 points. No, I'm not going to say that number. Nate James coming into the pit now for his pit stop, has waited the longest out of the sort of bottom half of the grid to make his pit stop, but that is kind of the ideal strategy. We'll see where he comes out. Nice livery on that McLaren, if I do say so myself. And Price
Are you doing this intentionally now?
What do you mean? Is that your livery too?
Yes.
Oh, I knew the Lamborghini ones were your work, but I didn't.
Those are like the only two that you just got a nice livery on both of them. So I'm Aiden approved on both liveries I've done.
I mean, I'm just saying them as I see them. So
yeah. Them out. He got nothing for you.
Yeah, I'm just saying them as I see them. But yeah, Bryce Davies actually struggling a little bit behind this Porsche, going a bit wide.
See that too often.
Yeah. So I think the Lexus with those older tires, its old electronics, really doesn't like to be pushed over the limit. Yeah, and stands in for his pit stop with 5 minutes to go.
Stand.
Yeah, you might want to not hit that. That would probably be a good idea. Now, no one can try the loop D strategy at this track. I don't know if you saw Laguna Seca. He pitted and then went across the line in the pit lane. But
and it ultimately didn't work anyway. I think it cost him positions, he said.
Well, the reason it didn't work was because he had wheel issues that whole race with shifting.
Nah, that didn't help.
But here the finish line is very early on the straight, so everyone will have to pit. So here comes Griffin.
Ooh,
I actually
closer than I expected.
Might get him here. It's
it's a short run from the exit. Yep, and you
But
can
he will be
see
there.
Stan just there ahead. Yeah, it's
Yeah, so
interesting.
I wonder if that damage is just more cosmetic than anything. Like, I wonder if in ACC generally anything under 10 seconds of damage is like considered quite raceable. Beyond that, you start to lose a couple tenths, and then obviously the further you go, the more time you lose. So, if it's like 8 or 9 seconds of damage, or even 10, his ultimate pace won't really be affected that much. And to be honest, if he has caught Stan this much, going through traffic, in theory, he is actually faster than Stan. However, since there's only 3.5 minutes left in the race, I really don't think, unless Stan makes a decent sized mistake, there's really no way that he'll be able to make up that time in 3 minutes, because that's only 2 laps around here.
I think, I got talking with Stan a bit over when he asked me to do these liveries for him, and he said obviously like Justin Griffin is just an absolute rocket ship, he admitted, and I think ultimately Justin is the quicker driver. I think he probably just didn't get the lap together in quali, as we see Ryan King come in, and Vinton as well. Not too unsurprisingly, everyone is in the pits as well. Is J-Ray gonna come in, or is he going around again? He's going around again. Oh no, he's in. Nope, he is in as well, so everyone's in. So, and, ooh, interesting as well, Ben Albert going around one more. Yep. So I think obviously it'll be pretty clear that Justin is obviously quicker, but I think Justin will be in P2 as well, because there was an 8 seconds gap between Buskovus and Ryan King, so I think he'll slot in. Yep, he's already well past, so it's a short run on the exit, but Justin's well past as well. But yeah, I think that shows how much pace Justin ultimately had. I think he's done the Kimi Raikkonen thing in the past, where he's kind of taken a bit of the race to actually find his form, and ultimately been the quickest at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, no, from my experience of racing him too in Split Red, he generally is pretty quick during those race stints. Has kept me fairly humble, so yeah, I do agree with you there. Stan as well, pretty consistent driver. Also pretty good in qualifying, especially some tracks. He's kind of a standout driver, I would say. And so the other driver I was wanted to see was Rondinella. So Rondinella, I don't think he's going to get that top 10 like you were hoping for. So unfortunate for the driver that I picked. Maybe next race, I just got to pick my least favorite driver, and then and then they'll end up down the field, because I seem to be a bit of a curse. But
I think Lupti is just naturally, he's just like, he's just naturally unlucky. He's natural, snake eyes, quite frankly. He's just once in the blue moon, the gods are, feeling generous to let him have a result that will keep him, just a little crumb to keep Lupti from, quitting sim racing altogether.
Rage quitting, yeah.
And the rest is just pain otherwise.
Yep, so Ben Oliver, I assume, there he is, come into the bits on the final lap of the race.
Technically led a lap, I think.
Technically, he can get that as his claim to fame. But Buskovus, Griffin, King, and Vintiner look like your top 4 for now.
Griffin and
Griffiths,
Bryce Davis is really close.
If Griffiths can sink this P5, that will be an awesome result for her. I think that will probably be her best result of all time from memory. So well done to her if she manages to bank this. I am touching wood right now, just in case. My desk is made of wood, just so everyone knows.
He is right behind. He's gonna. There he is. Yep. So overcut. So yeah, Ben Oliver's done a good job, and this is the last lap as well, as Buskovus is heading down to Dunlop Curve. But yeah, Blake looking pretty good at present. It is going to be P5. Ben Oliver's thing is yet to update because he needs to cross the first timing beam. But yeah, just half a lap to go. Price Davis is right there, so I think Blake needs to keep on it as well. But Bishop, Rad as well, Rondinello's right there. So Rondinello does actually slot into the top 10. So I think he just got Daryl Lim. Daryl. Yeah, something's happened to Daryl Lim. That's not quite right, is it? I'm not too sure. The timing ball is probably just throwing me for a loop there potentially, but. Jaden, I think, pretty good to actually get into the top 10, and technically, he's got ahead of Ben Oliver as well. And Justin Griffin, what could have been for Justin Griffin? He's this amount of speed. I think Ryan King and Vinton will be feeling a bit hard done by to see how much Justin Griffin's managed to get undercut them, I should say, despite all that traffic. But it looks pretty good.
They're doing the formation finish. Yep. I have a feeling.
As we round the final corner, Team Why Not, Stan Buscovas leading the head, and Justin Griffin got a fill for a photo finish. Very good job by those two there. And Ryan King gets P3 ultimately at the flag as well, as we wait for Ben Vintner. But congratulations to Buscovas and Griffin, Lambo 1 and 2. Great job by those guys. Ryan King P3, Ben Vintner P4. Blake Griffiths comes home P5 ahead of Price Davis in the 396 Lexus, and John Rad and Andy Bishop nose to tail pretty much, and Loopy coming home P9. Ben Oliver seats a P10 finish. I feel like he probably should have got a bit of a better result, higher result than that, but it was just so contested in that top 10. Great job by those guys for the top 10.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of drivers doing pretty well tonight. Some names that we haven't really seen up inside that top 10 for a while. So a bit of a all over the place race, to be honest. If you had told me this would be the results before the race, I probably would have done a bit of a double take. But anyway, final cars should be crossing the line soonish. There comes that final group out of the final corner now. I believe that's Stockton crossing the line and Everingham as well. Then I assume Simpson, Eaton, Campbell, there they are. And then now just waiting on Shona and Chris. We're going to be here a while waiting for Chris. I think he's going down the back straight right now over the other side of the track. So we'll have a look at this German marshal waving his checkered flag. Hello, sir. What do you reckon his name is? Gunther, or what's another German name?
Jürgen.
Hans, yeah. Hans, yeah. That's a good one. All right, and last but not least, Chris Bernard crosses
I saw that was about to happen.
He crosses the line in the wall. So that concludes the race. We'll get on to these results. So obviously we had Stan Buscovas taking home the win. Pretty clinical drive, but Griffin did put on a very good comeback to take that P2. Followed by Ryan King on that final step of the podium. Good drive by him as well in the Porsche. Don't see many of them around nowadays. Griffiths as well, very good result in P5, taking out the silver win, followed by Bishop and Lim. Going down to Pro-Am, we have Price Davies taking out the class win, John Rad as well, and Ben Oliver all drove very solid races as well. And going into Am now, Xavier Eaton taking out the win in the Lamborghini, followed by Everingham and Shona Fangers. So that concludes Split Yellow. Next we have iRacing at Bathurst. So I believe that one's probably going to be quite popular.
Popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. Get out your popcorn. I will certainly be watching that one with a close eye, as obviously Bathurst, well, what else is there need to be said, really? One of the best tracks of all time in iRacing in the GT3, so stick around for that.
Yep, so we'll have a short interlude and we'll be back in 5 minutes on the hour, back with John Gormley and Tim Gobe as well. So stay tuned, don't go away.
And welcome back, everybody. And we are back on iRacing here at the lovely Mount Panorama Street Circuit. My name is Gobby, and joining me in the comps today is a very special friend of mine. And would you like to make yourself known, John Gormley?
Hi, I'd like to be referred as John Gormley, not as your friend. And this is I signed up for ACC. What am I? No, I'm just kidding. Welcome, everybody. Very happy to be back here in the booth with Tim. Thank you, Cameron, for organizing this. And luckily, we were supposed to be doing. I thought it was going to be Watkins Glen, but right now it's changed to Bathurst because we couldn't do it last week. Now everybody is still on their out lap. Now, please tell me how much more sketchy is iRacing Bathurst compared to ACC Bathurst, Tim?
Yes and no. It's pretty similar. The main issue is, especially on your out laps, you drive ACC, you complain about cold tires on ACC. Now imagine driving cold tires on iRacing, and your out lap is actually extremely crucial. And obviously the scan is not the newest one. You don't get as much feedback as you would do on the ACC version. To be honest, the ACC one is a pretty goated scan of that track, and I think the iRacing one needs a bit of a refurbishment.
I do have a question. How dangerous is Skyline? Because you know me, track record 3 for 3. 3 sprint races on ACC and Bathurst, 3 meatballs DNFs. So, would I fare any better in iRacing?
No.
All right, go after yourself. No. Also, I'm seeing some familiar names. I'm also seeing some different names. So, Michael Clark, is that the same Michael Clark that was in Academy with me back in ACC?
That is indeed the same Michael Clark. You are correct.
Okie dokie. As we can see, go down the list. John McAdam, Mitch Hobbsy, the Academy director, Patrick Johnston, who's apparently quit ACC. Now, we don't know if it's going to be a quit again, one of those scenarios. We've got Jeesh, Mr. Josh Truick. We have Benjamin Hignett, Chris Taylor, Lucas Keys. A lot of familiar names, but also these unfamiliar names, for me at least, because I don't really watch I do watch the iRacing for the content, but it is not as interesting to me because I'm not in the iRacing series yet. I'm just a, poor boy. Oliver Twist.
You're gonna have to watch out for Mr. Peterson Rodriguez. He's given us a hell of a race last week, actually, and it was down to the wire and managed to snatch P2 just on the very last lap, very final corner. Got a bit of a slipstream from a McLaren, and Lucas Keys, looking like he was gonna win, ended up losing 2 positions right before the start-finish line. It was absolute cinema.
Lucas Keys, my GOAT, my greatest of all time, losing? Yeah, that's fathomable, because that's the thing, it's all of these people and all their beautiful machines. I'm not sure how good the C8 Corvette is, but you can see some of the times now. Since these are their out lap, obviously, the tires take longer to warm up than ACC do. What is a good time at iRacing? Are they comparable to ACC? Because I know when you're in the 59s, you're pretty damn good.
In iRacing, the cars tend to be a little bit slower. So actually, these 202s are setting. Those are very, very respectable laps already. I think they can get into 201s or even into 2 flats. I am not sure if a 59 is possible.
Would a 2 flat be similar to a 58 in ACC or more of a 59?
Yeah, I'd say it's about a 58. Obviously, ambient temperature, all that stuff matters a lot more in iRacing. In ACC,
actually,
you're really only looking at ambient, but you've got track temp, and also it's a lot darker outside, so not as much heat in the track. So that also plays a massive factor in how fast these guys will be driving.
Thank you very much, Glenn, for the statistics. I was actually just about to ask for that. Yeah, we got the date, which is not today, apparently. We've got 6:45 p.m., so heading into the dusk. We've got wind, we've got the compass, we've got the cardinal directions, 18 Celsius. I have no, that is to do with the weather. I have no idea what that means. 90
pressure.
Yeah, okay.
Pressure.
92% humidity. That sounds like a lot.
That's pretty humid. I didn't know Australia got that humid, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Thailand gets that humid, does it?
We do right after it rains.
Actually, we're at 80%, so, you know, we live in a pretty humid country, so 92 is a bit extreme, I would say so. But anyways, we've got our first couple of drivers in the 201s, Leo Dreyer and John McAdam, currently in the 201s, only separated by 0.14 of a second, closely followed behind by Marino Morella. Marino Mozzarella! Morella in P3 currently with the 202.447. If you guys have watched these iRacing series, these fields are extremely stacked. It's always throughout the field, everyone's just extremely quick.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the really big things that make me happy is seeing iRacing, which is still a relatively new series. I'd say, you know, 1-2 seasons, not that long ago, but seeing how many new names have popped up, and these aren't just new names that are amateurs or out of academy. These are new names, but they are also quite skilled in driving. Like, look, they're putting up fights between what I consider ACC pros like Hobbsy, Keys, Patrick, Chris Taylor, you know.
Yeah, Lucas Keys only in P6 as well. Washed. Love you, Lucas. There he is in the Corvette. Now, I heard the Corvette is not too good around here either. It's not exactly the most optimum car, but it is a beautiful car, though it has a fake V8. I think you'd agree with me on that one.
I do agree with you because it is an American car. However, it has a flat plane V8 out of the Europeans, you know, the Ferraris, the Alabalala. It's
yeah, it's not like the Corvettes we used to have with the LSs, huh?
No, and I absolutely love cross-plane engines because of the way they sound. Yeah, they're not efficient. Let's be completely honest. They're not efficient. Look, they're efficient enough for the Ford Mustang GT3 to get bopped so damn hard in ACC. We're gonna move, changing subjects. Anyway, yeah, the glorious V8s of America, inefficient, but hell, they're a lot of fun. But there are other V8s here as well. So the McLaren's is twin turbo V8. The C8 is a naturally aspirated flat plane V8, so it's more similar to a Ferrari V8, and it's got a higher pitched and more uniform sound all around. Same with the power as well. It's more linear compared to a cross plane Camaro, Mustang, etc.
Still boring. Anyways, we've got Marino Morella currently jumping from a 202 to a 201, beating 201 flat, 201.050, so he's almost in the 2 flats, so the times are really starting to come in. It does take a few laps to get your tires warmed up in iRacing, and usually on a normal iRacing session you only get 2 laps, so you never really get to do a insanely fast lap, but these guys have been out for a couple of laps now. It's towards well, not a couple of laps. It's almost the end of qualifying. I was looking at the clock, but this will be for most of these guys the final lap. I think there's one car coming around the final corner now. They'll be able to set another lap. Yes, they do. Currently, who is that? The number 20. Number 20, who is that? I can't see anyone.
That will be Tim Nash.
Tim Nash. No, all right, hasn't set a time yet. So a couple of drivers out there, perhaps struggling a little bit, perhaps going off tracks, but
there's one guy off track right there.
One more chance at a lap, but if you look at the top 6, in fact the top 10 in general, this is everyone's extremely close to each other. So obviously Marino Morella, the only one actually in the sub 201.5, well, sub 201.5. Closest behind is Leo Dreyer, last week's winner. Actually 2 weeks ago, because we did not have iRacing last week. Won at Road America. Let's see if he can do it again here at Bathurst. Where is I'm looking for a name. Pearson Rodriguez only actually in the 202, so perhaps not as good at Bathurst as he was at Road America, but we are yet to see, as this qualifying is only one part, and once we start going racing, it could change once again. As
is Lucas Keys on a valid quali lap, Mr. Glenn? Okay, so he's just going around for fun, as we're on board with Peterson Rodriguez as well. Maybe he is also on a... Oh, he is on, so he snuck through right at the end, because that is a 10-minute timer, which is different from the ACC one. We'll have to see if he has properly managed to plan it out. And he makes up a few positions. So, as we can see, Marino Morella with a 201. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tim Nash. Here we go, Tim Nash. What's gonna be the time?
Yeah, he is green, so he does. Yeah,
he made up
a little bit
from last 17th. Yeah. Now there is also so we got Sam Cash, Shane Goff, and Dan Hawkins, which maybe they're gonna start from pits. Maybe they just want to have fun and be at the back. And we also have Joshua Holmes, which is the safety car, unfortunately, Mr. Holmesy.
Yeah, he never gets to drive it.
The one time his wish comes true and he gets an iRacing series, he can't race. You know what? I'll be the safety car.
Yeah, pretty much. Go to Joshua Holmes. He's probably just he's probably doing RD stuff. All the boring stuff when it comes to running a racing series. Really doesn't get to do the driving.
You can
Does
see
all
his
the admin
icon
work.
right there on the right-hand side. It's Holmes and he's speaking.
Oh, wait, is that who's that?
Oh, it's Chris Taylor.
Look at him.
Is he gonna hit another tactical choke after he wipes out like 2 weeks ago?
He's got a little cutie patootie down there. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, give it away, Chris.
I think at Spa, the very first race we had this season, he unfortunately got spun around by somebody else, and as he was spinning, he took a toke of his electronic cigarette and then went right back to racing.
That's pretty good from Chrissy Taylor. Well, what
We
room
love you,
is he
Chris.
in? It looks like
that's a background, Tim. That's an artificial background.
Oh, it's an artificial background. I was like, is this some kind of posh office? I didn't know he ran like that, Mr. Chrissy Taylor.
Damn, that's a skyline right there.
Oh, it's AI. You're confusing me, Glenn. Glenn is really confusing me. But these guys should start their formation lap any second now.
Now,
I think
the formation lap, they do have contact. The contact is enabled for formation, right, Mr.?
yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a short formation. Okay.
It's a boring formation lap. Yeah, that is a short formation. They're starting on Conrad into the chase.
More things to go wrong, but like less things to go wrong as well. But so, how? I am assuming you have done Bathurst iRacing before, Tim. What car would you say is the best here?
Mustang.
Is that biased in any way, shape, or form? I'll take your silence as a yes. Anyway, so as we can see, now Marino, I hope it's not pronounced Marino, but Marino in the Fez, Leo Trier in the McLaren, and it looks like William Morgan in, what is that? Another, C8 Corvette? Oh no, wait, that's a McLaren. That's, the view is just slightly slow. BMW. Yeah, there's quite a decent spread of manufacturers here, looks like, in the top 10.
Yeah, there's a couple cars there. There's actually the Porsche. I know the Porsche is horrible now. It used to be good. It's not a great car anymore. If I had to get a guess on a car that's just very good. I don't know. I'm not an iRacing nerd. BMW? I don't know. I don't see any on the field right now. I'm sure there's one. No, there is one right there. Yeah, but now they're out for their formation lap. They're following the fake safety car. Unfortunately, this one is not driven by Josh Holmes.
Mr. Morella, you're going to want to calm down a little bit. You can't pass that one.
Yeah, you cannot pass that one. Interesting thing with iRacing restarts, once the safety car pulls in, it's like a safety car restart if you would have done one of those, where now the leader will have control of the field, and once the safety car pulls into the pits, he can go whenever he wants. And let's see, when he does go, he's not going yet. He's still waiting. He's still waiting. He's still waiting. In fact, now it's green, so he has to go. And we are now racing here at Bathurst into.
Oh, already contact.
Yeah, sorry, a bit of contact into hell corner. We got 2 wide, 2 wide, 2 wide, perhaps 3 wide in the background. And it's looking like Marino Morella has had a pretty good jump in the 77. These guys being very well behaved. Got a couple 3 wides here and there as we go into Quarry, turn 2 that is, and it's obviously not over yet. These guys are still very compacted together, so it could still end a disaster through this corner as they go up into the mountain, and that Ferrari is in a pretty comfortable lead, to say the least.
Now we're heading into the cutting, which is always, yeah, it's always spicy because everybody's high speed, and now it's the mountain, which you're really boxing, elbows out, teeth gnashing, your hands are on the walls, because if you mess up here, that is straight back to the pits, unfortunately, because this is, I love Bathurst and I hate Bathurst because of this specific section. It's just so intense and so much fun. The adrenaline is flowing. And are these people still on cold tires? There's no tire warmers, I assume.
They'd be on semi-warm tires out the formation lap. So they wouldn't be on freezing cold tires, but they obviously would not be up to temps quite yet. It probably is gonna take them a few laps as it's only 18 degrees Celsius out there.
Mr. Hammond was mouth to butt
see
right
that
there on that
Ferrari
Mustang.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Getting a bit squirrely as they go down through Conrad now and into the chase. Probably one of the favorite spots to make a pass, especially with the amount of slipstream these guys are gonna get. This is
There's
probably
already a Porsche side by side with the C8 back there, and here's Morella riding away in front. I did see on turn 1, lap 1, before the turn 1, there was a little bit of contact on the rear of Morella, so maybe he got a little speed boost from that. I don't think it was intentional bump drafting, but that's just contact to note. What's the damage like in iRacing? Is it significantly more dangerous in iRacing?
It's extreme. It is the most extreme. You do get a replay here of the race start of one of the cars in the back. So let's see what's happened there. So it's a McLaren and a Mercedes. We're looking at the Mercedes, and there's an Aston Martin going sideways. Ooh, and the McLaren gets spun by the Mercedes, and they just get a bit of a traffic jam there, and hopefully they can get going. But as I was saying, John, the damage on iRacing is very, very extreme. It's the most extreme out of all the titles I know, as far as I know.
Yeah, we're currently on board with Lucas Keys going up through the cutting again, stuck behind William Morgan and right in front of Benjamin Hignett. Now that little contact from the Mercedes, I feel like the Mercedes took a safe route, and then the McLaren just sort of turned in on him after they tried to get going again, because it looked like there was enough space for the two of them. Now this section, I have to see how Lucas Keys does. Current fastest lap is Marino Morella with the 205 flat. We'll have to see how that improves eventually. But everybody else with the 207s, 208s, 209s. So at the moment, Morella is driving away. And oh, I hate Dipper so much. And oh, brother, here comes Forrest Elbow.
Your favorite corner on track, huh?
My favorite corner on the track. Now, is anybody going to slide out, just give a little oversteer? No, they're not hitting that wall, which I hit multiple times. You know, we're on board with the Mustang, your favorite car, Tim, right behind a Merc.
No,
such a beautiful both beautiful V8s.
My beautiful brick. I love her so much. But yeah, it's Mustang against Merc. Mustang has been significantly buffed last time around. I'm not sure if they've done anything else to it, perhaps nerfed it a little bit, but all of a sudden it's again become the strongest car overall. Just proper race car, really. But that Mustang now is trying to hunt down that Mercedes of Will Hammond, as we're now back on board in a C8 Corvette, and that is Chris Taylor looking to hunt down Josh Struick and the Porsche. Now the Porsche not being the great car it once was in iRacing, they've absolutely butchered the car, which breaks my heart because it's actually a very fun car to drive on iRacing.
You say that, but that Porsche did make a pass on Mr. Taylor last lap at Conrad.
I'm not saying you're uncompetitive with it, it's just out of all the cars, it's just pretty much the worst one.
Chris Taylor just driving there. Like, look at him. He's not really. You see his arms shaking a little bit. Ooh. No, sorry. I hate the cutting. I hate everything, and I love it. It's a love-hate relationship with Bathurst because it's genuinely so much fun to drive. You know, look, these are professionals. They're going up this super dangerous section of the mountain, and they're all, well, they're basically as close as they can be without endangering themselves and others. Like, oh my God, the contact with the Porsche on the wall, sparks flying.
You know what that is, Gormley, Mr. John? That is a skill issue, and you just need to practice some more. As though Josh Trick really not using as much track as he can without destroying his car, as they once again go through Forest Elbow and going as wide as they can. Surely one of these drivers is going to come in a little bit too hot and hit that wall, that Falcon wall. So far none of these guys have done it yet, but it's pretty easy to do, as that Mustang has to go a bit defensive from the Ferrari as they go into the chase. And out of it they go. Exit speed crucial right here as they now go to speed towards the final corner, and looking like going another lap, going in a Congo line. Yes, what's up, John?
The only reason you like the Mustang is because they sell an add-on booster seat for the Mustang GT3 for short kings like you.
That was pretty rude, John. I'm not sure which one of them told you to tell me this, but
I came up with that on my own. And I called you a short king. How was that rude? McLaren on the C8 up into all side by side up into, I forgot what that corner was, but they're gonna head into the cutting.
That is quarry, John. As now they head into the quarry, and they're still side by side.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
that's contact! Oh, they
rear-ended. They're starting to be racy. They're starting to race hard. That is William Morgan versus Patrick Johnston, and Patrick Johnston's teammate is right behind as well. Lucas Keys trying to put pressure on the McLaren driver. The C8 trying to work together to get through, but Lucas Keys also has a BMW issue behind him of Benjamin Hignett, also wants to get through, as now they go through Skyline and into the S's. Very hard racing. These guys are starting to get feisty. The tires are starting to feel warm, as now they go once again through Forest Elbow, and now there's a very, very long straight, and let's see if that McLaren can hold off Lucas Keys, or if Lucas Keys can hold off Benjamin Hignett. Benjamin Hignett's looking very close to that Corvette. Wondering if he'll be close enough to get a bit of a slipstream and get a move done.
Quadruple toe right now, technically speaking.
That is a pretty big toe for Benjamin Hignett. He's closing. Is he close enough to make a move?
He's lefting up. That's safe. He's just playing it safer now, because that's the thing. Oh my God, Lucas going a bit wide there, just eating some grass. The thing is, the Corvette and the McLaren, aerodynamically, they look. Corvette C8. It's very aerodynamically similar. They're both, mid-rear engined V8s, except the McLaren has the upside and downside of the twin turbos. More power top end, but the turbo lag at the very beginning. So we'll have to see how these different cars perform, even though they're incredibly similar. As Benjamin Hignett goes wide and gives me a little scare. Keep it down, Bignett. Keep it down. You got this. Just let the people in front kill themselves, okay? You got this.
I mean, they're looking very racy, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this race goes. Just FYI, John, I'm not sure if you knew this, but they only get half tanks for these races, so they cannot finish a 45-minute race on one tank. They do have to come into pit, and a tire stop is using the DTM rules for tire swap, so it takes like 5 seconds to change all full tires. So obviously getting a new pair of boots is not off the walls, but at the same time you get new tires. Your tires are gonna be cold. It's gonna take a couple of laps to warm them up, and these couple of laps you've gotta really slowly bring them in.
Yeah, artificial entertainment by giving these guys not a full tank, but it just gives them more leeway to do some strategy. But, we're still on board with Dylan Smith right behind Chris Taylor and Josh Drake. There's a bit of a gap in between them. There's a larger gap now between Patrick and Morgan and Keys. So we'll have to see what exactly happened there. But as you can see, some of the cars being unsettled. It's only been 10 minutes into the race. When do you think would be the... Ooh, Oh, a move into the chase by McLaren. That is impressive. Can he keep? Oh my God, he managed to keep it as well. Oh, he does have a better run up from behind. Now, Patrick and Lucas right behind, right behind Morgan. We'll have to see if they can keep pulling Morgan can keep pulling a gap or not. But that was a really clean move into possibly one of the most dangerous places to make an overtake. Because if you get it wrong, or if the other person just doesn't move over as well, give you enough space, that could be a recipe for disaster.
Actually, the chase is probably one of the better spots to make an overtake. It's nice and wide. You know,
there's a lot of grass.
You've got a good long. Wait, there's grass everywhere, Mr. Gormley.
Not on Skyline. Ask how I know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure one of these guys are gonna try and make a move on Skyline. That's a much safer place to make a move. But Patrick not letting go of that McLaren, but now he's got his teammate Lucas. It's just looking like a nice little train going on here against William Morgan. William Morgan actually sitting in P3, the final spot of the podium. I know these guys will not let go. I know Patrick Johnston does not want to let go. He's staying as close as he can as they go through McPhillamy corner now. And going very wide. You want to mount that curb and not go on the grass as they now go into Skyline and into the S as they go and into the dipper again. You want to hug as much of that wall as you can. This track, you really gotta be in a bit of a flow state to drive it. If you're thinking too much, if you're focusing not focusing, that's not the right word, but to be able to drive Bathurst successfully, I found myself to be in kind of a flow state. Just focus on driving. Don't focus. You cannot overdrive it indeed. As now they go into the chase. It's looking like that McLaren has got some legs. He's slowly but surely pulling away from the Corvette. Corvette looking like it's struggling a bit even with the slipstream.
Yeah, I will say that Marino has pulled a substantial gap on Leo, and Leo has also pulled a substantial gap on the battle for P3 as well. Now, another funny thing to mention real quick, P1 to P7, after all of that racing, have renegotiated back to their original starting positions as we have a side-by-side into turn 1.
Oh, that is some hard racing between Chris Taylor and I think that is Dylan Smith in the big old Mustang. Just look how big that brick of a car is. So
they're gonna go into the quarry side by side.
The battle of the Bald Eagles, Ford versus Chevy. Who's gonna be victor as they again stay side by side as they go into the cutting? But it's looking like Chrissy Taylor just manages to hold off, and it's looking like Chevy has kept the lead on that one. But how far can they keep it, as there's also the Germans in the back in the BMW also trying to get involved for glory in the BMW M4 GT3, as now they go back in through McPhillamy. How good is that Corvette? How good is that Mustang through here? I know the Mustang feels pretty good through here, but it's the only car really driven at Bathurst, whether it's iRacing or ACC, as they now go through the S's into Forest Elbow. Let's see if that Mustang is a bit closer, if he can use a slipstream to try and get past the Corvette. So we'll see. He's a lot closer than he was last time around. In fact, he's very, very close. It's looking like he's also got a better exit in general compared to the Corvette. He's already pulling out of slipstream as he goes side by side, but he will have to settle on the outside as they go for the kick. It's extremely scary to go through here side by side, but now Chris Taylor will have the inside. But now the Mustang gets back on the inside into the final corner and gets the move done. Now Chris Taylor also has a bit of BMW trouble in the background. That is the BMW of Nicholas Carter. Just slowly watching. In fact, not being overly aggressive. No, he's just sitting there, just kind of waiting for these guys to do some kind of mistake, and then he'll try to capitalize on that. As we do get a replay now of Peterson Rodriguez. Down the inside and goes for a spin, and unfortunately into the wall. Dare I say, that is some significant damage for that Ford Mustang.
Whoa,
That's
side-by-side
incredible.
contact again into Quarry, and that opens up the line for the BMW just to follow right behind. Can he? He cannot squeeze. He cannot squeeze it. Wow, that was really wide. I'm impressed that Chris Taylor managed to keep that as the Mustang is right again back on the rear of the Corvette. So he's managed to claw it back. No, yeah. Look at him. He's the happiest boy right now. Whew! Yeah, I completely planned that. Like, I completely planned that out. I was never worried. I didn't even have to take a toke on my e-cig, my vape. Because I just, Bathurst, that's nothing. Piece of walk in the park. I almost said a piece of cake. I'm hungry now. Anyway, now I just want to say, Morella, fastest lap of a 2:01.52. So that is 2/1000ths off of his quali time. So do you think he underfueled to get that extra performance out in the first stint? Because he has cleared a massive gap to Dreyer.
No, he's just a quick driver, John.
I hate you. You never entertain me. Genuinely.
No, keep in mind, these guys only have half tanks. And it's already been 60 minutes in the race. They're going to start pulling into the pits pretty soon. So he's probably got around the same amount of fuel he would have taken for qualifying around this point. Which is probably why you're seeing him do these insanely quick times.
Yeah, but you're no fun. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Anyway, back on board with Leo Dreyer. Now, he is 7 seconds behind Morella, but he has cleared a 2.2-second gap to Morgan from behind. Looks like there's a bit of a gap now between Patrick Johnston and Lucas Keys. Benjamin Hignett still in contention, still on the attack of Lucas Keys, but it really feels like the grid has slightly spread out, except for right here, obviously. This is where the good stuff happens. Now, tires are warmer. They're lower on fuel. They're going to go even faster. Now, Smith is still looking for any opportunity to attack Chris Taylor. He's still trying to go for any gap that he, well, not going for any gap that he can, otherwise Taylor would be dead by now. But yeah, that Mustang is a monster, especially how wide it is, how heavy it is, but just the sheer speed it carries through corners sometimes.
Yeah, this is an interesting battle going on. So Chris Taylor actually managing to stay ahead of these two for now, but he's definitely feeling the pressure. I'm wondering if Smith is also feeling the pressure from Carter in the BMW. That BMW is doing what it reminds me of Damiano Turcolini. Not overly aggressive. You'll just sit there and he'll just wait. He'll wait for a mistake, and as soon as he sees a mistake, that's when he capitalizes and goes for the move. So that's what it's looking like between these three. Obviously, Chrissy Taylor being on the absolute defense against these two. In fact, he's got a bit of a gap to the Mustang, so perhaps Dylan Smith just pushing a smudge too hard, and unfortunately does lose out a bit against Taylor. But it's still looking pretty even, so we'll see in the next coming laps. Perhaps this is another battle that'll end up in the pits, as now we're back looking at Peterson Rodriguez. He's trying to make a move on Pedro Padrao in
Pedro Padrao.
But that Mustang does not look too happy.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that is
hit a tree. Peterson Rodriguez, hello.
Is that legal?
It's legal. It's legal. He's just
okay,
a smart man.
Peterson Verstappen, gotcha. Calm down, buddy. Man, he's gonna fix that. He is a man on a mission. He's gonna go right out there. He's gonna make up more positions. Just maybe not in the pit lane.
That was one hell of a move. That Ferrari did seem to be going a bit slow, but no, that was completely legal. Completely.
Yeah, that Ferrari
legal
definitely was
Peter
taking
Rodriguez.
it easy into the pits. But man, Peterson, Mr. Rodriguez.
I told you, you have to watch out for him. You have to watch out for him. You should have seen last race. He's a bit of a menace in a good way, in a very good way. He's a very, very good driver.
There's a... okay. Mr. Glenn was just saying that if we watch the overtakes for the Road America, we'll see that Mr. Rodriguez is also in there. He's just a contributor to, clearly, an entertaining race. Now, there is a bit of a gap that has opened up between Mr. Keys and Mr. Johnston. And we'll just have to see. Do you think that's tire wear, maybe some damage, or just them using their tires too soon and scrubbing them?
I think
Or
it's
are you
just,
gonna say skill issue? I swear, are you gonna say skill issue?
I mean, I am part of skill issue racing, right? So it's skill issues. It was a good thing. Nah, I think just Patrick might just be just a little bit better. Lucas
Benjamin
is
Hickman going into pits.
doing. They're not doing bad times. They're doing pretty good times. I see as they cross the line. Yeah, they're both in the 201, so they're both driving really, really quick. But yeah, no, Lucas Keys and Patrick just trying to fight their ways back to the top. William Morgan just seems to be ever so slightly pulling away from them every lap, as now we're back in another battle between Will Hammond and Mitch Hobbsy, our Academy admin, as he goes defensive against the big Merc, and that is who's that? That is Struik in the Porsche. Struik in the Porsche also getting involved in this, so this is another three-way battle. So we're starting to get in every part of the track just these little three-way battles. Where just everyone just trying to survive, but at the same time trying to go for a move. As you can see, the slipstream is also not as strong here when they go through Conrad. But we do have a couple of cars in the
Oh my
pits.
God. Josh I see every time I see Josh on screen, he's scraping the wall, but I don't see the car recoil from the wall, so he must just be barely pixel perfect on that car as we're going through the dipper.
Apparently the oil pressure in that Mercedes is 0 bar. I can confirm that is not optimum. Oh, that's pretty funny.
No, it's weight reduction, Tim, trust.
You don't need oil. Oil is overrated. Oil causes drag in the engine if you have no oil. There's a reason why performance Ducatis had dry clutches, right? Oil just causes you to have a bit of drag in your engine. So just remove the oil. You don't need it. Lubrication is overrated.
Lubrication is a lie sold to you by Big Oil.
That's quite funny. This is oil pressure low, and it says 0 bar. But I'm sure that's just what.
It's just a glitch. iRacing is an old game. You can tell by the graphics as well. But wait, is that a Drake button on the steering wheel?
Yes, a Drake button. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, we're still on board with Hammond here, trying to just pull more. I can't even English anymore. He's trying to get past Hobbsy.
Milk.
He's trying to just beat Hobbsy, and Josh Strick is right there behind them. Now, I think Josh Strick might have a chance to just sneak in while Hammond is trying to make a move on Hobbsy.
Perhaps. We'll have to see. This is again looking like a pretty equal battle at the moment. Everyone's just relaxing. I don't remember seeing these guys pitting yet as well. I don't think they have yet.
They haven't. No. The only person who was in the top 10 that's pitted is Mr. Benjamin Hignett.
Oh yeah, it's pitted on lap 10 actually. Yeah, no,
so I was right. There is different strategies, Tim. Would you look at that? It's not just about half-tankness.
Well, you'd want to go as far as you can, right? Unless
you're Benjamin Hignett.
Unless you're Benjamin Hignett and you just want a bit of clean air. He probably knows he has the pace. Probably just pitted early as trying the. I keep forgetting, if you pit first, is that an overcut? Yeah, I think that's an overcut.
Undercut.
Yeah. Okay, no, pit first, undercut, yes. Pit first, undercut, yes. Sure. As we're back in that battle, it's again just looking equal. Nothing really happening between these three just yet.
No, brother, it's these guys again. No. But this is just good racing. Yeah, another three-way battle right here. Now, Hobbsy, that is a bit of a curve from the Merc, but see, the thing is, I can't tell. It looks like he was, and there goes Josh Strick into the pits. That's another one in the top 10 heading into the pits finally. Now he's gonna get fuller half tank, as you say, and some new tires, so we'll see how his pace is coming out. We'll have to also see how long the pit stop itself takes. Now, you said 5 seconds for all tires. Does that also include fuel?
No, that does not include fuel. It's just an extra 5 seconds if you get tires. I'm pretty sure.
That Merc is looking pretty close from this angle. Will he send it into the cutting, though, is another question, because we have seen some cars go side by side into the cutting, and they managed to maintain it. There was grip. No, maybe just not enough power. Maybe just the V6 of the Ferrari.
He's just chilling. He knows he has the 6.2 liter V8. He knows he's got the better engine. But as now we're back. Is that back Chrissy? That is Chrissy Taylor, yes. Oh, it looks like Carter has decided to pit. Yep, Carter has pitted. These two still yet to go in the pits. I'm wondering if one of them is waiting for the other to pit. Dylan Smith would be in the more optimal position for that. Just follow Chris Taylor in. And perhaps he can do a little sneaky the same way Peterson Rodriguez did against that other Ferrari, where he just jumped in for the pit line. Smart racing. Obviously, very tight to the wall. But as Breno was saying, Merc does not have straight line of defense.
Please, side draft right now.
Yes,
NASCAR style.
Do it. Yeah.
Oh, they're side by side.
They're side by side as they go into the kick. The kick is very nerve-wracking to go through your side by side, but they managed to go through there clean. And in fact, he gets the move done before the quarter.
I think that was actually extra safe driving from Mr. Maybe Hobbs will go into pits right now. I knew it! I'm a genius! I can play 4-dimensional chess. Anyway, yeah, he was so safe during that extra chase section. I realized that maybe he's just gonna pull in, give this up, and go get some more time somewhere else. As we're back on board with Smith and Chris Taylor, once again, seeing who's gonna win in this yo-yo battle.
Surely they've got to pit next this lap. Like it's been 27 minutes into the race. Surely their tanks are basically running on fumes at the moment.
The tank that keeps on giving.
I say that, but the current top 10 still have not pitted. None of them have pitted yet.
Marino Morella doing a 2:09, which is even faster than his quali time.
Yeah, that is absolutely unbelievable. It looks like he's a bit of a Bathurst enjoyer, Marino. Currently holding the fastest lap. Leo Dre's last lap I think it was a 2:02, so he's flying out there to say the least. As these two once again go through into McPhillamy and into Skyline once again, and surely they're gonna pit this lap. There ain't no way they can make it another lap. Surely not, unless Josh Holmes decided this is a funny thing, just give a couple drivers a full tank so they don't have to pit. Highly doubt it.
Maybe Chris Taylor just cheated and put a full tank. He bypassed the code. You know, he can just drive to the end.
He bypassed scrutineering.
Your mere rules don't apply to me.
But we'll see. Still nobody in the top 10. So tactical toke as they once again go through. Surely he's got to pit now.
Oh, okay, there you go. Finally.
Look who's staying out. Dylan Smith and the big Mustang still has enough fuel, and decides he's gonna stay out and probably coming next lap. But it's almost 30 minutes in the race. There's only like 16 minutes of racing to go now.
Would it be funny if Dylan realized, oh shit, I was supposed to pit that lap too. I'm running out of gas. Yep. So, Marino Morella has just pitted, and now he comes out at P5. We'll have to see, because everybody in front of him has yet to pit. So it is basically confirmed provisional at the moment for P1.
I mean, he did have an 11-second lead on Leo Dreher, so if Leo Dreher somehow manages to find 11 seconds in the next couple of laps...
And a pit stop.
Well, he has to find 11 seconds and a pit stop. That'd be pretty amazing, to say the least, and he would deserve the win if he finds 11 seconds just like that. Perhaps he's jumping out of his car and jumping into a Formula 1 car. All of a sudden, that would fix all of his issues, but obviously he's not going to do that, as Marino Morella now goes through Skyline. And we've not seen much of him. You know, he's jumped into the lead and he's just gone away in the distance. Ooh, very tight.
Oh, that looks so
very
close.
confident. He's very confident. He knows this track really well. You just can see by the way he's driving. He's getting so close to these walls. He can get a bit closer there. Come on, Marino.
Note his tires are probably still warming up as well.
If he did change tires.
Oh, so tires is optional?
Yeah, tires are optional. You don't have to change tires. And in a short race like this, sometimes it's better to not change tires. Because at least you may be on used tires, but they're still warm.
P1, P2, P3, all in the pits now. P4 as well. Mr. Smith heading into pits as well. So, Mr. Morella is just gonna have an easy stroll in the park now because he's just passing everybody. He's in the pits and just gonna keep building that gap.
Oh, well, you look at that. He's back in P1. But I want to see what Chris Taylor ends up between him and Smith. I'm very interested to see if he's gonna manage to jump Smith or Smith gonna manage to jump Chris Taylor. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just keeping a close eye on that timing board. It's looking very close. He is moving. He is now in pit exit, and Smith does manage to jump the Corvette, I think. So, he does manage to jump the Corvette. That's Smith, and then close behind, yeah, Chris Taylor. That's a massive overcut from Dylan Smith.
However, Mr. Josh Truick, who pitted before both of them, are now in front of both of them.
Very smart driving from Josh Truick. In fact, Josh Truick tried to get past Mitchie Hobbs. In fact, Will Hammond as well managing to get past the Ferrari. So all these passes for position being done in the pits as far as we're seeing. And Benjamin Hicknett in P7 still.
So Benjamin Hignett did do the extra early pit stop. I think he was one of the first to pit in this competitive mid-pack. Still ending up in a respectable P7. Now, there is Lucas Gies and Patrick Johnson once again in front of him, so we'll have to see how they go, but he's already 2 seconds down from the... Oh, Josh!
Into the wall, as we're back with Peterson Rodriguez, who tried to get... He hit the wall, So good, Glenn. He just tapped the Falcon wall, but now we've got a very interesting battle here. They're basically kissing each other. Oh
my goodness. Some counters here.
Getting a bit squirrely there. That's going to compromise his exit a little bit. And now he's under pressure from the Ferrari of McLeod. McLeod in the Ferrari. I was told the Ferrari is a pretty quick car down the straight here. Perhaps not
getting
quite
towed by
Mustang
two
quick.
Mustangs.
Yeah, getting double towed by two big American V8s in his elegant European precision-built Ferrari.
Mamma mia! It's a bella ciao, whatever the Italians say. Anyway.
Corsa.
Oh my God! A double slide from both Mustangs. That opens up. Are they butt to butt? That is. Oh my God! I thought there was a slight contact back in there, but now Peterson Rodriguez has potentially lost. And no, they keep it clean. What a good move by Peterson Rodriguez. That is good defending, and he managed to secure the spot back, especially after that double mess up from both Mustangs. Unfortunately for Alistair McLeod, he just locked himself into that position once he tried to push through.
He tried to do a little bump draft against Graham Hill there. I saw that. He wanted to get through, but unfortunately he was on the outside, and Rodriguez is a pretty feisty driver from the couple of races I've seen him race. But there is just over 10 minutes to go, or 10 and a half minutes to go. And again, it's another three-way battle. Now we're back looking at that battle. Well, battle for P2 actually. That's William Morgan right behind Leo Dreyer. So Morgan's made up quite a few positions, and not far behind is Who is that? Oh, fuck,
John
is that-
McAdam.
is it John McAdam. I forgot McAdam was also in the Mustang, but very close behind these two as well.
Let's see, we got a V8, a V8, a V8, a V8, a V8, and inline 6. Then it goes to V8, and then it goes to, yeah, just so many. Mwah. Now Josh, oh my god, okay, that is some late braking from Josh, trying to make a move on Hobbsy, especially on the V6 of the Ferrari. We have to see, because it looks like, oh, that he's sniffing, he's showing Hobbsy, I'm in your rear view mirrors, if you mess up, I'm gonna get past you. Now, will Josh Truex have enough of a good exit on T1 to get into the slipstream of Hobbsy and try to make it side-by-side into Quarry? Because there's still, that's the tiny gap. Looks like Hobbsy is a slightly bad exit, but yeah, they're right there. We'll just have to see if Josh can capitalize on this toe, put himself side draft, put himself side-by-side. They're going in on the outside.
Here, Cummins on the side of the Ferrari. I saw Cummins on there.
Josh is taking the safer option, just sort of letting it go, maybe trying for a switchback instead.
He's probably waiting for Conrad. That's where he's gonna want to make the move. Conrad's a longer straight, and he got a nice section to pass through the chase. So perhaps he's just waiting for that. Perhaps he's just trying to spook Hobbsy a little bit, scare him a little bit. Just get a bit of a scare, trying to force a mistake out of him.
Well, with these professionals, they do have nerves of steel, especially. Look at already how much of a gap Hobbsy. That's grass. Okay, anyway. Back to the intermission. You can see Hobbsy already trying to pull away in certain sections. I definitely think they are feeling the pressure of each of them, especially in here where there's nothing but walls. Because the Quarry as well, there's no grass there. Like you say, it is definitely much safer to make a move. Josh, don't hit the Josh!
Wall.
Stop hitting the wall!
So Josh again hits the wall. I'm sure the side of his Porsche is really enjoying the beating it's taking right now. So far, not looking like anything major, but again, that three-way battle between Graham Hill, Rodriguez, and McLeod still raging on as well. Rodriguez just not quite getting enough slipstream. He tried to go for a move the last time around, but unfortunately, both him and Graham Hill end up going for a little bit of a slide. And again, McLeod being the patient one in this battle, just waiting for a mistake from these two as they go through the chase. Oh, Rodriguez just gets a better run for the chase, actually. Graham Hill looking like he's struggling a little bit. And Rodriguez trying to look down the inside. He's just not quite alongside of the other Mustang. And cannot get a move done here as they go through the start-finish straight and into Hell Corner.
That looked like a pretty good entry for McLeod as well. I have to see how this shapes up. Now, once again, God damn it! God damn it! Commentator's curse.
John. Thank you, John.
Oh man.
Thank you, John. I appreciate
Let's
it.
swap to somebody else. I don't want to watch McLeod right now. I feel bad.
Thank you very much, John. I'm sure these guys would appreciate it as well. I don't think Peterson Rodriguez minds too much, not having to deal with the pressure behind him. Now I can focus on the attack against Graham Hill. So this is going to be interesting now as they go through the cutting. And now this is going to be interesting. And now it's on to these two. Rodriguez is going to start putting the pressure extra hard onto Graham Hill as they go through McPhillamy now. I wonder if he's gonna try to go for a move in McPhillamy. Nah, he's not gonna do that as they go for his Scala, but he's all over the rear end of the Mosaic Mustang as they go for the dipper. Oh, Graham Hill's just fighting his heart out to hold on to that position as they now go through Forest Elbow. Oh, let's look at Rodriguez. It does get a pretty good run there. He's really close to that, Graham Hill. Now, is he close enough to get benefits from the slipstream and actually manage to get alongside?
But
he does get closer, inches closer. Is he gonna be side by side as they go? Oh, very close. And Graham Hill actually probably gets a little spooked from that and breaks a bit early. And that is a move done for Peterson Rodriguez. As you can see, Rodriguez is a very aggressive driver, but he's also very fair.
Oh, Oh, that was a bit of a slide from Rodriguez. Graham Hill probably just going, oh, come on, man. Here? Okay, fine. Here, you have it. I'll just get you on the next lap. We'll have to see how they continue this, because it was fair, like you said. It was dangerous but predictable, which I think is a very fair way of driving.
Yeah, it's fine. Getting a bit racy here and there. It's so good. That's why we do it. That's why we do this league racing stuff as well, because the grids are generally a lot cleaner as well. You get people going through very ballsy moves, to say the least, but usually they're very well calculated as well.
Okay, Josh, you're right on Hobbsy. Stay out of the wall, please. It's just a little bit more. You can do this. I see, while we were watching the Rodriguez battle, I was watching on Josh Strick's timing gap between him and Hobbsy, and there were times where he was only 2/10 off of Hobbsy. Now, those 2/10 are most likely right here at Conrad, where it's not the slipstream, but he just can't secure the move, the overtake, before they get through to the final turn and Hell's Corner. We'll have to see right here with the, the Porsche just can't capitalize, it looks like, and even if you brake late, it's not enough to close that much of the gap, especially to the Ferrari, as once again, already Hobbsy pulling slightly away, having a better exit. Well, I guess Tim's gone for now. You're just going to be stuck with me as we're... Oh, my God. That beautiful Porsche Castrol livery. Really can't go wrong with it. Now, once again, showing himself in Hobbsy's mirrors, making sure Hobbsy knows he's there. That is a very good exit for Josh right there. Now, yep, that's the slipstream. You can see him gaining slowly. Will he initiate the side draft and once again into the cutting? Or no, it looks like he's either losing speed or lifting off, just maybe to be safe.
He's shmalaxing.
That was a large lift right before the corner, though. You saw that, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh,
Josh, stop! Stop it!
He's playing with fire there, Josh Truex. He's not afraid. He'll use all the track he is gonna get. I paid for the whole racetrack. I'm gonna use the whole racetrack mentality, as he is still hard on the 6 of Mitchie Hobbs. He's so
Look
close
at
that the camera is going into the wall. That's very good. That's very good driving from Josh Truex. In fact, I think... Oh my God, I don't like it. I don't like it. This is terrifying stuff. This is absolutely terrifying. So as we go through forest...
That was a tap. That must have been a tap.
Josh Truex. So... Although he's in against P10, he's one of the more adventurous drivers today, Josh Truex.
I will say, right now, his Discord handle is very appropriate for how we're feeling watching him. Jeesh. Genuinely. Jeesh, what are you doing?
What are you doing? As they go through a chase, so he's gonna get another chance at it.
He's challenging that wall. He's challenging the real estate for that wall. Now, actually, P8, Will Hammond, only 3/10 off of Benjamin Hickman as well. So there is a secondary battle going on here. As the Mercedes up against the i6 turbo of that BMW, which, I'm going to be honest, who really likes that i6? I mean, not me, but...
I mean, the car looks good.
Oh, the car is beautiful. I absolutely love the car.
You've never driven the BMW on iRacing. It actually goes, you know?
Oh, it's got a blow-off valve. Very nice.
Yeah, it does go.
How does it go, Tim? How many times can you do that? Oh my God, that is very close.
As Will
Hammond just
feeling adventurous here against his fellow other German-branded compatriot, 6.2 liter V8 versus 3 liter.
3 liters, so that is double the displacement. It's missing a snail, but right now Hammond is showing that he doesn't need a snail to secure this.
Doesn't need a snail.
Through Skyline, on the brakes, side, basically like... I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but yeah.
Apparently,
No!
Graham Hill has gone off track as.
We'll get a replay for
Okay.
that soon. Aha. Oh, off.
Oh, he was back.
Off
He
the
was back
track
ahead.
here? Oh no, this is the
Oh.
disaster. Is it possible that Is it possible that he was helped along? We'll have to see that later on. But that did, from that camera angle, it did look suspicious. Wait, but that also means since Graham Hill was in front of Rodriguez, that means he did overtake Rodriguez at some point after Rodriguez overtook him on the chase. So
He did.
maybe Rodriguez just no. And what is again? Is that race finish?
That is a race finish. I just noticed that it is the last lap of Rodriguez. We get the move done on.
Oh, there we go. The nerds and their. Oh, that was. I'm not sure if you want to show that on stream, Glenn, but the nerdy boys of Johnston and Keys just having a little wrestle. Why are there hot women on the bottom left? I was been meaning to ask that.
Oh, that's Benjamin Zignan thing.
Yeah, but there's also Chris Taylor's was a hot goth woman as well. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but Chris Taylor as well. When his car shows up,
noticed. Of course, Gormley notices all that stuff, right?
well, I have two eyes. What, you can't manually control both of them?
That'd be
Independently?
a cool party trick.
I was.
Oh!
That is very dangerous. Yeah,
That is not good, especially Ray set out the corner. That is a bit naughty, but we're gonna ignore that. Hopefully the drivers are okay.
Yeah, now for anybody who's not in the know-how, most of these drivers aren't direct drive wheels, which means force feedback is instantaneous. And there are 5 Newton meter variants, there are 10 Newton meters, there are more. So hitting somebody like that at the end of a race or when they're stopped is incredibly dangerous, and they could physically harm their wrists, hands, fingers, or arms. So we do not recommend that in any case or scenario to ram somebody. Even if you're friends with them, it is still not a good thing to do.
Yeah, usually for other lobbies, I'm with my mates set up like in ACC you can do some pretty funny things with the physics. I'll just tell my mate, alright, just let go of your steering wheel, I get the confirmation, alright, my hands are off, and then I'll ram him, and then perhaps I'll send him to space. But when you're racing against people you don't generally know, obviously there's 20 drivers on this track. I love these guys, may still be holding their steering wheels at again, if they have a 20 Newton meter wheel, it can get quite brutal. In fact, some of these wheels are so powerful you get little kill switches for them in case they spaz out for whatever reason. And obviously direct drive is the new norm. But anyways, Marino Morella will take the win at Bathurst, closely followed behind by Leo Dreyer taking P2, and William Morgan will take the final spot on the podium, followed by John McAdam, Patrick Johnston, Lucas Keys, Benjamin Hignett, Will Hammond, Mitch Hobbs, and Josh Druick are your top 10.
No points. Winner 0 points. Hey, it's a participation race, guys. Come on, have some fun.
Participation race. Everyone gets a medal.
Yeah, so
it
they're
gets
gonna
calculated later.
Yeah.
So it's all good. But do you have any final words, John Gormley?
I want to say thank you to the viewers for watching, thank you to the drivers for racing, and thank you to Thermaltake for sponsoring this season. As always, Octane Online Racing wouldn't be here without you guys, so we really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, John. But anyways, we're gonna start signing out now. Remember, tomorrow we are racing again. We're racing LMU, WEC, in the infamous split red. But for today, we're going to be signing out, and you've been watching OR.
Wait. Have you done any practice yet, Tim?
No.